Welcome back, everyone. That was a bit of a longer break, but we were waiting on some teams. But welcome back. Paddling Pool 313. We've got a little bit more time to discuss. Reminder, hello, I'm Zari, joined by the lovely, the amazing Sazu.
Yes, I'm here too.
Indeed.
And we're looking at Casablanca versus Fave X Ken Mix Corp. And
which is such a name.
I think I'm too dumb to get the reference. Fave X Ken Mix.
I don't get it either, but it's like that's a lot of syllables.
I was just like, yeah, it's very. I like how concise is not the word. It is certainly not concise.
The opposite.
But exactly, Fave X Ken Mix Corp. It's a strong sounding name, but Casablanca, I'm sure they're not intending to go down here to such a strong name. And we will firstly be, at least when our team's ready up, we'll be heading in to, I believe, what's that? Umami?
On
Rainmaker.
Yeah. and absolutely, you're quite right. We are heading into it right now.
Wow, what timing. Let's take a look at these loadouts here. Interestingly enough, we do see a pencil on the side of Fave X, which I think have fallen out a little tiny bit due to its recent nerfs, and we see with Cooler a Zap, which of course has been used a little bit more recently due to, I think, its buffs in terms of shooting. But we already see 3 members going down on the side of Casablanca, meaning we're going to see that very tactical, smart jump out there with already the check being taken by Fave X. And right now, with that bubble up, they are putting a lot of pressure to make sure that they can eke out all the points that they can get in this push.
Yes, indeed. But oh my goodness, is the hold from Casablanca so strong there. They just could not get past that many in the toxic mist that they used. So it goes straight back over to Casablanca, and they're finally able to get their hands on this Rainmaker, but not get to the checkpoint. Not at all.
Yeah, I think there was a stray bomb there that, sometimes when you get sort of sniped by a bomb, you will immediately explode. And you see very quickly Fave X Ken Mix not only doing away with Casablanca, but also snagging that Rainmaker very quickly, already starting on their push. You see they do have that pencil on their side, able to put down that paint and clear a bit of a path for that Rainmaker. You see this Crab kind of trying to get that pick on that Blaster there, but the Blaster able to survive while also taking one down. And the Rainmaker still on the side of FaveX. It seems as though they are taking their time and they're waiting for the perfect moment to maybe push, but maybe they waited too long because 2 members are down on both sides.
Indeed. They did seem like they were just waiting for everyone to align, but that did not end up happening for them. And as we're seeing right now, like this is not what Fave was looking for. Because Casablanca has such a strong presence in mid at the moment, but the blaster does have to be incredibly careful not to overextend. Ooh.
Yeah, and I guess they just were not careful enough. Maybe there you see that they did go down, and once again, Casablanca able to get their mitts on that Rainmaker with a really well-placed bubble there, ensuring that they're able to get that check. And quite frankly, it feels like half of the war is done, because once you get that check, it's only a matter of walking, eking out those points, getting those million jillion points as you walk. But we have both teams kind of struggling to keep this space, and a Rainmaker reset kind of evidence of that, with the fact that neither are able to really walk into mid. But I think it's going to be Casablanca's turn here to once again grab that Rainmaker and unfortunately very quickly go down. This is just, we are seeing a bloodbath here. Both teams going up and down.
Yeah, it's like neither team gets enough of an advantage before one of the other teams has like a shield up, or there's another one, or the tactical ready, and they just kind of like throw themselves forward a bit. But the question becomes, are they? There we go. They made the hop. They got to 49, but they are pretty much all going down for it. So yeah, 49 isn't. It's literally a hop away for Faves.
Yeah,
there too.
Certainly not a huge lead, and quite frankly, Scorch Gorge also can be kind of large as well. So I think that it gives FaveX the chance to really start their push here, but it seems as though Casablanca has done a really good job regrouping. They've got the Rainmaker down, as well as 2 other members, so that is going to be 3 people there, and they have a lot, not just a lot of control, but a lot of control with just 40 seconds left. This can be a really tough place to get off of your plat when you are being bullied. You see, though, with a triple here from Aura Boy. And there's the full wipe. I know we might see Aura Boy kind of taking a pause there to get that clip, but with 20 seconds left, Casablanca can definitely pick that up, widen their lead, and really seal the deal in terms of their win over FaveX. But, you know, they've been able to get a few members down. They're not necessarily done yet. They do have the Rainmaker. We see those specials being expended from Casablanca. 2 members going down, and now FaveX really... I was gonna say they really had a lot of work to go, but very sneakily, member of Casablanca right under that drop and able to close out the game with a sneaky pick on the Rainmaker.
Yes, indeed.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you can just imagine FaveX ChemMix were just trying. They were like, okay, we've got the Mida here, we've got the Rainmaker. We just need to kind of send you guys ahead, have the Rainmaker come in, we'll be fine. And then just sneaky, there's a Julie's.
And you know, they made their lives very easy because, like I said, FaveX had quite a mountain to climb. You see here, brilliant blaster work from Aura Boy there during the whole game, but also in dodging that crab. But really, FaveX, I'm trying to wonder if there would even be enough time on that Rainmaker to necessarily run it and get the lead with how much space they had to take, but they didn't. Casablanca made sure that they didn't have to worry about that. I really just hiding under that drop. We see here we're going into overtime, and I believe in that bottom right there is a sneaky set of dualies there, putting a kiss on the envelope of that game in the favor of Casablanca.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that does mean going into the second game of the set, Splat Zones on Inkblot Academy, that Casablanca's got a little bit more momentum going, and FaveX ChemMix, they do not want to let them continue to snowball this. So it's gonna be interesting to see what their response is going to be, if they're going to try and kind of shut down that blaster before they really get like more momentum, or if they're just going to try and like play this like they played the first one and hope for the best. Because yet again, Splat Zones is a very different mode. Like you can hold it down, as opposed to having to get that Rainmaker into the spawn of the enemy. Very different.
I'd actually argue true, but in particular, this zones map is Inkblot. Of course, you're going to have that big, huge center stack in the middle of the zone, making it extremely difficult to cap. I believe FaveX ChemMix also has a pencil. I'm not sure. Well, I guess very effective, the pencil, as you've seen a switch off of Zap to that pencil. And I'm trying to see if we've seen necessarily any other switches here, but that blaster is certainly going to have a lot of fun along with that carbon being underneath those ledges and making it very difficult for anybody to drop.
Yes, I will say one thing that is very interesting that they've decided to do, but does I think make sense, is the change of the type of Julies they've got going on. Instead of having two splashdowns this time, they've got a crab coming out from the Julies, which can be very helpful if you get it onto that top mid to keep that pressure against the enemy. But already Casablanca have started this so incredibly strong.
Speaking of the crab, we do see it going out there, though of course it's being pressured by that blaster that immediately gets punished for being in that position there. So now it is going to be up to FaveX to try and cap this zone, which is not going to be an easy task, but they do get it done. Azuka coming out, finding purchase with a trade there, but with two members of FaveX, it's going to be looking like this zone is going to go into the control of Casablanca, but with a pretty hefty penalty, meaning that FaveX has the time to regroup and figure out how it is they're going to overcome Casablanca and take that zone back.
Yes, they do have the time, but FaveX does not have the space at the moment to kind of find their way in, because Casablanca has been very, very good at taking the space and kind of keeping it to make sure that kind of Fave can't do much. Oh my god.
Wow. I feel like there's just a lot of confidence coming out of Casablanca. You see them really taking those fights like nothing, and right out of the clutches of losing this game, you see that FaveX is able to take that zone back. Auraboy kind of fighting for their life here in this corner and losing it right now, but with the pencil back online, waiting for their blaster to come in, you see everyone sort of organizing, especially their pencil has gotten out that cooler, so right now it's just about painting, but it seems as though FaveX has finally, especially with not much penalty, really organized themselves in a position where they're able to check Casablanca and maybe make some progress on getting this lead.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is not the place you want to be putting a crab, especially when there's another one right above them. But they are continuing to just hold this zone, even when they, oh my god, when Casablanca is trying to get it back from them, they just can't do it.
Wow. You know, and I think part of that, like we saw, Auraboy kind of painting for their life, but they are a blaster, you know? This zone requires a lot of paint because of that center stack there, and you just can't afford to have weapons like a blaster being up to paint the zone. And I think that FaveX, once they like really organized themselves and they were able to, I think their struggle here is that we saw Casablanca kind of bullying them into their spawn, and that was really tough for them to recover from because they spent a lot of time on their own plat. But once they were able to get into mid and really keep that space, they were able to punish the overextensions and really go 3v1s and do a really good job, at least in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. They did very well at just being able to kind of like space out Casablanca or like kind of encircle them whenever they were just like dropping in and pushing up. Once they had that kind of position of strength, they were very good at defending it. Where I suppose it's very different from how Casablanca was playing, which was you get that down, you push up past it, which can work incredibly well. But once you all die up there, or you like some of you die and you have to kind of come back in, then you've lost that point of strength. While FaveX Chemics were like, okay, we're going to stay in mid, we're going to wait for you to push us, and then we're going to encircle you whenever that happens. And it worked out well once they got into that position. Yeah.
Well, speaking of points of strength, I think of note that we also mentioned is that Casablanca made a change onto that pencil from that zap. Certainly a less aggressive weapon in terms of having a cooler, and I have to wonder if that has something to do with their loss here. As much as people tend to prefer pencil over that zap, I think one of the things that certainly gave them that win in that Rainmaker game was their level of aggression. And I wonder if switching to maybe an edit or back to Zap will help them here, moving into Barnacle and Dime clams, which, unlike its zone's counterpart, doesn't tend to usually have as much of an issue with lockouts.
Yeah, it does tend to, you have to push up so much to get to the basket that so often you're gonna lose players just by doing that. Like,
not to mention everyone's just scavenging for clams all over the place.
Yeah.
The clam economy is brutal here.
Can't be having anything. You gotta scrounge for every single clam that you can find, and normally that means sending someone back to just get the spawns that have happened mid push, and you're like, oh, thankfully, finally, we've got some more clams. But yeah, that does tend to mean that you don't have that kind of like fully unified front whenever you're pushing, and also if you're not able to kind of fully get that like top kind of left side, that means that you're kind of getting shot at from multiple angles, and it's hard to kind of stay alive in there. So it'll be interesting to see if this is very like I push, you push, or if it's kind of like I push, okay, I'm backing up, but then I'm gonna push again. So yeah, it'll just be interesting to see how they play it, especially because of how aggressive Casablanca can be.
Yes, and we will be taking a look at these loadouts. I'm interested to see if we're going to see any sort of switch ups, and not necessarily on Casablanca or either side. We are going to still see a bubble on both teams, which is, I think we have a bit of an issue there. And yeah, we're just gonna let the players work that out. But noticeably, we did not see any changes in those comps there. We still do see the pencil on the side of Casablanca, as well as the custom blaster with that splashdown. And I think a crab. Tell me your thoughts.
I will mention, from what I can see from our, streamer overlord here, it does seem that there might be a little bit of a stall here in what we're going to be getting from these teams, as a player needs to do something. But that's why we might be waiting for about 5 minutes. But going back to what you were saying, yeah, I think they are kind of keeping the same comps. I think they both had that. They both kept the pencils, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes, to kind of be like, okay, I'm not going to let you outrange me. But then the crabs, obvious. It seems with these two teams, it's like, okay, we can't change off of these because we're trying to do the same things against each other with some of these weapons, and so they don't want to kind of give that up and let the other team run with any kind of extra advantage that they can kind of take away from them. Yeah.
I'm very interested in the use of I'm very interested in the use of that the custom blaster in particular. I'm wondering if we have a bit of maybe like a one trick or something to that extent. I think that usually it's not as though blaster is a necessarily poor choice here, but I am interested in the thought process behind the splashdown on this particular map mode. I think that, you know, when it comes to, again, even though it's not necessarily zones, I think that Barnacle and Dime, regardless of what mode it is quite huge, and a lot of people like to allocate those the 3 special slots you're allowed, since most people run cooler, into things that help you push, because once again, you have to take a bunch of fights to really progress. You have to take the enemy plat. You're gonna have to get into that court without being picked off from the other team. Have to get past mid. With all those fights, a lot of people tend to use maybe whale, a more universal special, crab, things, or Zukas, you know, to help push into that basket. So I am curious to see how that works out, but we've seen Boy in those other games really shred it up. So I would not be surprised if maybe just my brain isn't expanded enough. I think that might be what's going on. You know, just because I don't see the vision doesn't mean the vision doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's like you look at it from one perspective, and you're like, okay, there's other specials that can definitely like take space ahead of you, which can help you like walk in after them. But I suppose with the splashdown, it is very much of a I'm going to keep this space. This is my space, get out. And if you can get that approach, then with like other specials or with other or sneaky or whatever, like you like it is very helpful to be like, I'm keeping this. Don't push me. So
you know,
I think stereotypical one.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, also sometimes under that like court-ish, that basket area, it can get down to scrappy 1v1s there, where the other team is just trying to get their picks on you while they're getting those clams in. And quite frankly, a well-placed splashdown there, triple splashdown, can completely clear the area of everyone very hastily trying to throw those clams in there. So perhaps that's kind of the thought process, but maybe it's just like, it's a good weapon, I want to use it. The special isn't bad, so it's just kind of along for the ride there. But I think both teams, not surprisingly, also running a bubble. Bubble very strong in clams, especially a place like this where you get those jump-ins, but with Barnacle and Dime being so huge.
Sorry, I just noticed.
Yeah, no.
Thanks,
Norian, our streamer here, letting us and everybody else know that a sub is being obtained. Actually, Zari and I were having a chat about subs earlier on before we started the stream, so we've actually already taken a look at the subs that are available. So personally interested to see who is able to go in there and give Was it Team Casablanca that had the issue?
Very important. Yeah, I don't know.
Whichever team it was. We'll see.
We talked so much about this that I'm like, which side are they on?
Yeah,
unclear.
I think we might see a leader only player, or I think one thing we noticed is there were certainly a lot of backlines.
Yes.
That were offering their services for subs. So definitely going to be interested to see if that's the case, because both teams did have established backlines already, but I believe there also was a sub who was willing to do support shooters. So it might just kind of be that, but
yeah, it does depend on exactly who on whichever team it is, because we still don't know who is the player that they are kind of losing here, and
yes,
yeah, and how they can adapt to that, because that's at this point in the set where everything's even and equal. Oh, that's not the time you wanna have a change up.
Listen, but sometimes gold happens with a sub. It's a little bit tough mid-set, but I think for me, if I'm going to have a sub come in, it would be on a place like Clams Barnacle. The place is very big. You have more time. It's not easy for the other team to kind of push and get that in. I think it was on Casablanca.
I have good authority that they didn't need a sub after all. So we've been on a roller coaster to get to this point, but yeah, no changes.
No changes. We have both of these teams kind of rushing into mid, trying to take some space as they snatch those clams. Pace going to be maybe a little bit lower, as it's all about the clam economy rather than keeping control of any particular thing. But two members already going down on Casablanca, as well as FaveX. So with a very sneaky run there, you have the last member there going down, I think from FaveX, and unfortunately that sneaky push is not going to happen because Casablanca was on their P's and Q's. So the quest for a power clam continues.
Indeed. What an economy we've got going on here. A 4 and a 5 clams. Oh my god. And it's oh, someone's got a power clam. Incredible. Oraboy is definitely looking for someone to not see them there so they can cause a little bit of chaos, but never mind. We are continuing to not have a power clam.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you see kind of, I think that was Oraboy getting a Zuka to the face. FaveX really making sure that they have an ironclad defense here. And you see the map looks very yellow here. So Casablanca doing a really good job of taking this space, but ultimately I think it's all about the clam economy. You're seeing the this ways Oraboy getting a fantastic double there before going down, unfortunately losing their clams. But we're already 2 minutes in, neither team able to score as of yet, but with that bubble in a very advantageous place, and we see a counter bubble there from FaveX, it may be time for a ball to finally go in, perhaps.
Maybe. Remains to be seen, because it does not seem like they've been able to actually walk that ball up any further. They've got a second one. There we go. Okay. They've got a second one now, but can I get that to the basket? Yes.
You see, and that's the use of the splash down there. You see Casablanca able to really oh my gosh, to really do a lot of clearing. Yeah, exactly. They are the ones who got the wipeout, which means that they now are going to keep this push going. And you see, like we were talking about before with the clam economy here, can be very brutal, seeing as though this place is so large. So members going back to get those clams. But I think that was really critical to get that wipeout because it meant they had the time to go back, get that clams. They had control for way too long of the map, and that is going to be a clean knockout after several full minutes of inactivity and the possibility of needing a sub from Casablanca.
Yeah, so that I had not realized in that moment that it was Casablanca that had got that wipeout. I was like, okay, and then we reset, and then and then it was like, wait, hold on, no, that's the people that are putting clams in that are still putting clams in. What do you mean there's a wipeout in spawn?
So as you kind of see there on that replay, it's funny, I was almost the opposite. I saw that wipeout and I knew it happened on Fave X, but because that's what I saw with my eyes, but my brain said that I don't think that can be the case. It's very so because I saw that splashdown and I was going to comment, that's the vision for the splashdown. You're able to clear all of those people, and I think maybe 2 people went down to that splashdown, but I was like, wait a second, but that splashdown is coming from the attacking team.
Yeah.
So I was like, am I wrong there? But yeah, there's the vision. I will not bring it up again. That was, I think, very important in getting enough members down for them to keep that push going. So speaking of just complete dominations, we will be heading in to Tower Shipshape, which is well known and well documented to be quite the snowballing map.
Indeed. Yeah, that can really just keep going. Those pushes can just keep going, and especially they can also get quite stally whenever you get to the checkpoint kind of on the the second checkpoint. When you get there, you can end up spending the entire game there. So it'll be interesting to see if kind of Casablanca can keep up their after a knockout like that, the kind of snowball potential that they're going into this game with, or if FaveX Chemics are gonna disrupt this, and that is a blaster on the side of FaveX Chemics.
Not just a blaster, but an S blast, which means they are going to have that GG Booyah online when the time comes. It seems as though they are not playing around with the amount of AoE that they have come into this match with. They say, listen, if you are on that tower and we are alive, we are going to be pressuring you. But it seems that already Fave X is making use of that AoE by having several members of Casablanca periodically going down. You see Casablanca here on this right side just being pressured, I think, by, was that a Zuka and a, no, it was a regular shot from that machine along with the S Blast Booyah Bomb. So already we see the snowball rolling as Fave X already down to 40, and if they are able to get past this second checkpoint, most people in Comp Splatoon would say that is game. So Casablanca is going to have to figure out how to put on this appropriate pressure to make sure they do not get past that point.
Indeed, they are definitely getting some picks here, and they are able to stop them from continuing to push. This could be the turnaround that they were waiting for. With 2 down on the side of Fave X, this is certainly not the place they were looking to be at this quickly.
No, but you have to be prepared for it when you're on a map mode like this. Like, you have to get your mental together and really lock in, because you know that a team can easily 0 to some absurd small number very easily, just based on how the map mode is, and that's looking like what's happening now. And Casablanca still making their way through, so they've certainly locked in. There's 2 members left up, a tactical retreat from their pencil, recognizing that it is time to get out of dodge and abandon that push. So for now, Fave X is going to hold on to that lead, but with this bubble up, this may be the time for a change of hands in terms of the lead as they continue to tick down past this checkpoint.
They do indeed, and they have been able to get lead. Have they I did
I
they
think
make
they
it
broke through the checkpoint.
Yes, yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
did indeed. Oh my goodness, it just wasn't clear for a moment there.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, that is not ideal here for Fav X Chemix, and they need reminder. They need to take this game, or else down to losers they go.
Yeah.
Point.
Casablanca is at match point here, and you see several people on this tower here, and I think with those people on this tower, of note to remember is that they are the ones who get the passive special as well. But with 3 of their members going down, that is going to be the end of the push, and they right now are a little bit made in the shade. But like we saw off the top of the game, it can be so easy to just be given an inch and to take a mile, especially considering that they have that GG Booyah, but Auraboy on a regular tirade as they usually are, getting I think 2 picks we saw there, but with the cooler online, even if Fave X starts on their push, they're going to be hard pressed to get anything done up against a team that can immediately respawn.
Yes, indeed. It is not very helpful whenever you're the team that's killing people and then they don't stay dead. But as we're saying that is 3 down on the side of Fav X, and we can see they did not have the tacticooler for that fight. And there is now a crab kind of in their faces, which is not fun. Certainly not fun, but was not able to get any picks.
Yeah, very aggressive placing for the crab is especially important because you see, I think their pencil is on that tower, eking out even more points, definitely looking for this knockout. So a fantastic distraction there. 2 members down on Fave X is going to be very tough on them. This hallway is brutal, and all that's, this place is classic for people really just spawning in and jumping in. As long as you tap that tower, people are usually willing to just let their life go and eke out those points. But with 15 seconds left and Casablanca at 6 on this match point, Fave X knows that this is going to be their final push. That Booyah Bomb, very unfortunately coming out quite early to protect their push, and a bubble is out on the side of Casablanca, and with those 3 members down, that is just going to be the end of the set.
It is indeed. It was very much the kind of game that went back and forth, but just once Casablanca got through that checkpoint, it kind of spelled the end, and then they just secured it even more so. So absolutely, Fave X were able to do a lot there. They got a good push, but they just were never able to kind of match that. They weren't able to get back to that checkpoint again, and so it didn't matter. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that's, like we were talking off the top, it's part of that mental of really locking in. In the first few minutes, really, I think Fave X was able to get a phenomenal push in, but really, it's not over until the other team hits check 2. Breaks check 2, rather. So I think, knowing that this is such a snowbally place, and this might end up happening, Casablanca did a really good job of not giving up and making sure that they were able to reach their ultimate goal of second checkpoint and really lock down the rest of this game.
Yes, indeed. With that in mind, I do believe we are going to go to a short break as we set up for the finals here, because of everything that's been going on. Normally, this block would end here, but we are going to get to see the finals before the next commentators go into looking at losers bracket. But it will be Lazarus, who are top seed, versus Casablanca, who are seed second. So that is very much, there's been some upsets in the bracket, but it all comes down to this.
Hello and welcome back to Paddling Pool 313. I'm Sasu and I'm here with Zari and we are looking at Lazarus versus Casablanca here in our winners bracket finals.
Indeed, and definitely this is the kind of matchup that these two teams have been waiting the entire bracket to get to. They've been like, I will see you in the finals, and it actually came true. So this should be very interesting. Also, we're seeing some maps that we haven't seen so far, such as Manta Maria. Have not seen that in the rest of our set so far, and also Crab Leg Capital, Love and Life, and Humpback's there, but it is a default tiebreaker, so we just haven't got to that point when it's been there on our maps. But we are going to be starting on Museum, but not Clams this time, instead on Rainmaker.
Yes, especially with Lazarus being our first seed and Casablanca being our second seed, we are sure to see a very strong showing from both of these teams. But I think that I'm wondering what we are going to see, particularly out of Lazarus. I think that there's
going to be an E-leader. There's going to be an E-leader.
You think we're gonna see the leader and they're not gonna hunker down and Baketan there on the especially with Zap where it is now, we're definitely going to be seeing more leaders abound, but no fixes on the side of Casablanca. Am I crazy? Is it no Casablanca? They're the ones running. Oh wow, my brain is confused. I think Lazarus.
Yeah, I think it was the wrong way around there for a second. So
okay,
Lazarus are in the blue.
Well, okay, perfect. So I was like, oh wow, I thought one team maybe was making fun of the other team a little bit with the switcheroni of their comp there, but you see Auraboy unfortunately going down there, being kind of bombarded, and both teams really checking each other. Neither team's, I think, having the Rainmaker for a moment. I was like, is this Clams? Because both...
Oh no.
Yeah, I think we might be looking at a bit of a DC. We'll see what happens there. Perhaps that is why neither team has even bothered really to touch that Rainmaker until now. I think we have a bit of a cheeky push there, not able to make it off of mid. But I think were they cooler? I'm not quite sure, but this is pandemonium.
Yeah, certainly it is not. Oh, jeez, Punchy. Nothing ever stays the way you're looking like it's gonna go. As we see right here, Lazarus, we're looking like they might be able to kind of recover from the push they had, but that is not what has happened at all. Oh my god. Casablanca getting a hold of this Rainmaker for point nothing of a second.
Listen, this is certainly the first seed up against the second seed because it is just so high speed that I feel like even we can hardly keep up. And you see that this way being thrown out because there was a bubble there to protect that check, but unfortunately members of Casablanca not able to really capitalize off of that, and 3 of their members go down. But Auraboy says, listen, that's 3, that's not 4 up until now. So kind of holding that space very hopefully, but eventually going down. So now it's going to be the time for Lazarus to make their push, but not if they go down first. It just seems as though no one is able to stay alive. Both of these teams so strong in this game, so skilled that just no one's able to make a healthy amount of headway without going down. But 3 members down on Casablanca, so oh my gosh, just everything's happening.
Yeah, everything's happening. We say something and then it stops being true. But there we go. They've taken the lead. They got that checkpoint and they died immediately.
Yeah, you see 3 members down on the side of Lazarus, and with that cooler out, it is going to be time for Casablanca to have Lazarus now on that back foot. But one thing of note is, I don't know, the map is looking very blue to me. Lazarus is doing a really great job of having map control. Perhaps it is because Casablanca has that blaster, making it a little bit more difficult for them. But right now, you have Baketan in a very, or was in a very aggressive position. But with 3 people down on Lazarus, it is now time for Casablanca to work their way onto the check before they go down to that bomb. Oh, 3 members down. Wow.
So they did make the they got to the checkpoint. Oh my god. Horribly. That's so unfortunate. But yes, they did make it to the checkpoint. It's good to get that sorted, and especially if they're able to shut down this push before it gets really anywhere, then it's like there's only 1 point in it. But the question here is, are they able to shut down this push before it becomes more than 1 point?
Yeah, you know, there's 35 seconds left. So honestly, that is quite, especially considering overtime, that is more than enough time for them to do something. But it's going to be very difficult up against that Kraken, because it is Casablanca who is going to have to get that Rainmaker. And one thing that top players have constantly been complaining about as it pertains to Rainmaker is how stally it is. So you see now that Lazarus has the position of power here, they are definitely stalling in that classic position that makes it tough to get them down. But the Rainmaker does reset, which gives them the opportunity, but it is just not going to look good up against those strikes. So I think that is practically going to be GG strikes. And that's going to hand the first game to Lazarus.
But only by a single point, and only because Lazarus got that checkpoint first. That's it. No one stepped foot further than that. That Rainmaker didn't go any further than those checkpoints.
Wait a moment. Look at this group drip. I have to give a shout out there to the group drip. Very, very rare occurrence in Splatoon. We do see that very weird pause there from Aura Boy that did not result in a DC, luckily. But as you can see, we have that camped pop, and just the whole game was an extreme back and forth. It seems as soon as we were on somebody, that person would immediately explode, and no one was really able to stay alive for that long. And as you mentioned, Lazarus getting that 1 point win, but not due to achieving more points, just to getting that checkpoint first. So we clearly are already in for a set as it pertains to our number 1 and number 2 seed pick.
Yes, this is definitely looking like it's not going to be a cakewalk for either of these teams. Lazarus have started out well, but only eking out that victory because they got that first push. So it's going to be interesting to see if going into Clan Blitz, if we see kind of a similar kind of back and forth situation. I'd expect it from these teams. But also, like, if you've got the clan economy and you're able to because you can even throw it in from up on the kind of wall of the bunker area. Like, you can do a lot on this without getting too close once you have that basket open. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe they're able to sneak a couple clams in and have that either side really have that be what does it for them. But I don't know going into this what we're gonna see from these teams, because I think just seems
yeah, interestingly enough, I would argue that Manta Maria is a very weak map for backlines. Well, not necessarily backlines, for chargers, right? A lot of people, this is a really strong splatling map, and a lot of backlines, particularly pencils, have been known to switch to edit here. But I think we might see a persisting leader out of Bake. So we'll take a look at that. As noticed, the pencil has been switched
Oh.
off on Casablanca, instead opting for that zap. But Baketan, interestingly, switching to maybe a charger that is less difficult to deal with on a place like this than Leader. This is an even poorer map for Leader than it is from Pencil. So definitely mitigating some of the struggle there. 2 members going down already on Casablanca. Punchy being immediately checked for trying to make a cheeky jump there. And so far, both teams with rather weak clam economy. And already you can see from the UI there, 3 members going down on Casablanca. But it's just people going down on both sides. But even so, Lazarus able to get ahead start here. You see clams being thrown forward to hopefully make a clam, but unfortunately the holder of most of the clams in Zip. So I don't know. They're gonna have to get that power clam, and they do. They get it in, but let's see if they can get down to 60 to get a proper push in.
That feels very
3 members
okay.
down on Casablanca, so the push continues.
Indeed it does. R.I.P. Punchy. But there we go. The basket closes. They at least got more than the baseline of 80 there. And we can see that there's a power clam coming in from the right, but is there anyone there to stop that? I don't think so. Oh my god. What is this game?
This is so stressful.
Yeah, it just is so incredibly stressful. Especially even whenever there's players from Casablanca coming in all over the place. Lazarus is able to kind of focus on the most important bits and stop them from kind of getting any kind of like cohesive push out there.
Yeah, it seems like Casablanca's really on the back foot almost this entire game, which is particularly interesting seeing as though they have that zap. So they're very well poised to have a more aggressive comp, but you know, they can't seem to crab in peace. Anytime I see that crab go out, they're getting a lot of pressure, but 3 members down on the side of Lazarus means that this is finally going to be the time for them to push. They get that power clam in, and they're just, especially with that power clam they got from the push earlier on that Lazarus did, this may it was poised to perhaps be the time for them to get that lead there, but you know, as much as we keep saying that, both of these teams are very strong teams, so it's not going to be a walk in the park to necessarily get below 60 when you have this really strong team just gunning you down.
Yeah, it is really rather a struggle, and oh my goodness, we see finally going across that cut layer work for them as a flank or a boy is very pushed up, able to get the jump but can't really defend it. They get the power clam in, but it's not enough to get lead because of the penalty points. Still, neither team is able to get past that 60-point marker. We are 1.5 minutes left.
Listen, this is just like the Rainmaker game. Neither team, I will remind you, was able to get past that initial check at all. Neither team got their points past the check because I think both of these teams are just so strong that getting points like that, you think it's kind of like you get the check, you move on, but when you're up against a team that's this strong, you just can't guarantee yourself those points. So you see right now, 2 points separates both of these teams. Make that, I can't math. Whoa, I'm not gonna have to math because it seems as though Casablanca is just furthering their lead. They have that bubble there and a fantastic double here from Love Drax here with a really great jump, and they're able to get this really healthy lead with just under 40 seconds left. So they've definitely thrown down the gauntlet and put the ball in Lazarus's court after being on the back foot almost the entire game.
Yep, it really does show that you just need to have like kind of the the stars align for you when it comes to clams. Like you're setting up for the best possible push, knowing that you're probably not going to get that, but whenever it does actually work, you're like, oh, there we go, that's what we were looking for. But yeah, 1 down on each side at the moment. They're just kind of fighting for this neutral, and it does seem like Lazarus is kind of losing it, which is not helpful in overtime.
Ooh, we have this kind of check of those jumps there, but they're not able to get my own down, and they have the jumps appropriate to have someone come in there. I think that was what a scrappy, interesting. Okay, because interesting about, I guess, that strat there is we saw Mayon kind of babysitting Lazarus's power clam there. They were in overtime, so they have to get that power clam if they're going to make that push on their own basket. So instead of choosing to simply defend the basket, instead Mayon has a bit of a aggressive play there and instead chooses to give jumps to their team and also just camp the power clam so no one can pick it up. So I don't think I've ever seen that before. Very, very interesting play we see there. This is the fabled push down to 30 from Casablanca, who had that really strong hold. And here we see Mayon camping that jump, making sure that they can't necessarily get their own push going. And that's going to be a feather in the cap for Casablanca.
What was very interesting, I will say, about that is that the player that they ended up taking out had to jump to someone. There was someone there originally, but they didn't grab the power clam. They must have been like, oh yeah, I'll just go grab it, and then they jumped before having grabbed it. I don't understand what was happening there to lead to that situation. Because normally... Yeah, I think the issue was that they had like jumped before grabbing it. So then someone needed to go back and get it. But that one thing meant that they had looking at what we'd seen of the map, like they had people over at the other basket. So it's just unfortunate for that, and that meant that they weren't able to kind of do anything in overtime. But all that aside, Splatzones.
Yeah, we are back in it. Very unfortunately, because I do want to discuss the tomfoolery that went on there. But both loadouts sort of back to normal, with Baketan moving back to the E-leader, and a welcome change, because I always say when it comes to Crab Lake Capital that range really is king. When you are on those center grates, or even if you're on that snipe, when you have a lot of range, it's so easy to really check other people. But you see 3 members going down on the side of Lazarus, meaning that Casablanca going to have a bit of an early lead, but you see a loss on that 1v1 happening there. But I think Casablanca having a healthy hold on the map is going to make it so that Lazarus has to get themselves together and take the zone back.
Yeah, unfortunate there that the Stamper was not able to get anything going with that special. They still can't seem to find their way in here. Punchy's just stuck there trying to make it work, but it isn't at the moment. It really isn't for Lazarus. They need to be able to get Casablanca out of that zone, and they're not getting the picks that they need. But is this finally turning around? As Becca is like just getting like 2 picks, but they need to paint the zone.
And paint the zone they did, putting the kibosh on that really long push we saw there from Casablanca. 3 members going down. So now it is going to be time for them to be on the back foot, the cooler going down. So when they start to mount their push, worrying a lot less about their respawn there. But of note, with Lazarus having almost no penalty, it is going to be super easy for them to then run through these points, not having to deal with any of it. But Casablanca putting necessary amount of pressure on the zone. So even though several of the members of Casablanca go down, they were able to do exactly what they needed to do by putting a stop on those points and having a relatively healthy penalty on Lazarus's points.
Yep, but they kind of had to throw everything they had at it to get that, and we can see already like it's not doing like they're through the penalty points. They need to put more on the side of Lazarus or get a more healthy kind of presence in mid here. Auraboy trying to make something happen and is able to take out the NZAP, which does seem to be helping them to finally be able to paint the zone. But as we say that, oh, stuff's happening everywhere. Is the zone? There we go. It is capped.
Yeah, I think that was actually an extremely critical pick there from Mayon on the dualies there, because I would argue a lot of the success to being able to keep this zone for so long does fall on Bake there being the E leader, because I think having difficulty setting up and having all of this pressure makes it very tough on them. But if they're able to get to those center grates, then there's very few places to hide. So now getting through this super massive penalty, Casablanca already working on the zone, but I think probably at this point, given their penalty, maybe locked in a little bit more to just making sure that Lazarus does not get the zone, and that they can preferably keep Bake down and continue on the pressure so that they're not able to drop and they get checked anytime they try to approach this zone, which is exactly what they're doing. They're already down to 20, so Lazarus is gonna have to like throw themselves at the zone and make sure that they cap it now if they're going to stop them from getting this this game.
Yes, indeed, they have to cap, and they have to cap now, but they can. Oh, okay, all right.
We're unclenching, folks. We're unclenching.
Yes, that was not what I was expecting to happen. There was that moment where they were trying to find their way in, like it was the second to last push, I do believe, and it seemed like it just was not playing out the way they wanted. So they jumped. Whoever was alive jumped back to do a final push, but that final push, there just wasn't quite the time for it, and so they couldn't collapse onto zone with enough time to do what they needed to stop it from just ending.
Yeah, I think it was unfortunately just too little too late there. They really needed to clean up the opposing players way faster, and of course you needed some follow-up on those strikes. I think we're taking a look here on replay that goes out, but of course the zap is down and not able to really move forward with those strikes. So I think, you know, you can't have your E-leader paint, right? So I think that unfortunately they just did not have the faculties necessary in order to get that back. So now Casablanca is looking at a match point heading into the dreaded tower ship shape.
What is very helpful for them is they did just win on this last set. So if they're able to get some kind of like something like that just against Lazarus, then that would be the walk in the park that they need. But it's not going to be that because this is Lazarus. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a struggle. I would be surprised if we made it to that second checkpoint with these teams.
Very true. I'm wondering, it feels very what's the word, like immovable object versus
unstoppable force. Yeah,
unstoppable force versus immovable object here, because on one side, and you may think I'm talking about Lazarus and Casablanca, but really the unstoppable force is how closely these teams are matched, and the immovable object is how snowbally this map mode is. So my curiosity is in whether it'll just end up being a snowball because this is tower ship shape and nothing will change that, or if these teams being so evenly matched will make it so that we're looking at a game where neither team is able to break checkpoint 1.
Yes, because those are two incredibly possible outcomes here, but we're so used to only seeing the first one, right? Where someone snowballs this out of the park. But I would not be surprised if these two teams just ended up being stuck in a bit more central neutral and didn't really see more checkpoints than the first one. You don't see it often, but these are two very, very evenly matched teams.
Listen, I'd argue that you also don't see often where Mayon was able to camp that power clam. We saw there's a lot of things here you do not see often. So I think these teams may definitely show us a crazy show, whether that's just back and forth aggression, or if that is just a nasty steamroll. But we're gonna see here if we see any changes. I'm imagining likely not, of course. Of note, even though there are no changes on the side of Lazarus, we do have those GG strikes online from Uwu Bucket. So we're going to be seeing that, as well as I also want to bring up more attention once again to Baketan, who here has the display 4K, who is on the leader, because one thing of note when it comes to tower, leader, all you have to really do is find that person, point and shoot. And if you're on tower, the leader knows where you are. So Lazarus is definitely going to have a lot they're going to have to deal with. We have Uwu Bucket out with those strikes to better secure their push here, because like we said on those prior games, once you get to that second checkpoint, you kind of have it made in the shade, and you see that Lazarus is really pulling out all the stops to secure the fact that they can get to that checkpoint by having their specials go out. So right now it's just kind of a fight, and I think it's a fight that Lazarus is winning.
It does definitely look that way at the moment, and they continue to keep that push going. They've got there's already 3 players down on Lazarus. On Casablanca. Jeez, wrong side. Which is just gonna keep that momentum moving. They've got through that checkpoint, and that really means this is almost certainly it.
That's it. Yeah. The immovable object, I believe, has won over the unstoppable force. And the fact that this is a snowbally map has made it such that they have denied the what I have to pause a moment once again for this group drip. Well done. Well done on Lazarus. And that, it almost feels as though Lazarus, even though they did not change specials, that they were very well tailored in order to really win on this map mode. They had the strikes, they had the Kraken, they had everything that made it so that the tower was invincible and could keep pushing forward. But, all falls in the face of tower gym shape, and we are going to be headed to a game 5 where it is match point for both teams.
Yeah, and I will say, really not an E-leader map.
Couldn't be less of an E-leader map.
Yeah, what a tiebreaker to be on. Yeah, okay, this is... We expected it to be close, but this is the first time, and this is the finals, that we are seeing a game 5. We've been the whole way through the stream, because we had to start a bit later. It's been best of 5s, but we've had we only got to game 3 in the first one. We got to game 4, the second one, but now we've got our game 5. It all comes down to this. Oh my goodness, Rainmaker, Humpback.
Let's see if we're gonna see a change to that pencil. No, we're gonna have Bake opting to stay instead on this E-leader, despite this very hilly map that can make it a little bit difficult on chargers. But aside from that leader, Bake, of course, also has this Kraken. And I think that this Kraken can be especially a menace as it pertains to that elbow area where that first check is going to be. When you have an active Kraken taking up that space, it just makes it impossible to get that check. Of course, you have all the members of Casablanca taking a little bit of a sip from their sodas, all coolered up, but 2 of their members going down, absolutely no problem. As we mentioned before, they all have cooler online. Love Drag kind of making a very smart tactical retreat. I think giving a bit of a free check to Lazarus, immediately going, what did I say about this elbow and that Kraken? So already getting an early check, which is especially want to see with just a minute left in a minute elapsing in the game.
Yeah, indeed. But the other thing to always keep in mind is it might be difficult to see, but the E-leader is still trying to see you at all times. But this is, oh my goodness, a push to 12. We are only just over a minute into this game, and Casablanca is still on the back foot here. They have next to no paint. They do not have the presence that they need. They need to get that Rainmaker off the plat, in fact. And they need to do it soon, because it's still just sitting there, and the oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Or, to be fair, the enemy team could take it off the plat.
Yeah, you know, they said a little bit of self-nerfing there with the drop down from Lazarus. But I gotta say, Casablanca, not necessarily, at least not in my opinion, in the best situation as it pertains to their specials. We see 3 members going down and a very skilled shoot down of that triple splashdown with the dodge, so not allowing them to take them down with them. But I think that in a place like or rather in a map mode like Humpback Rainmaker, Crab Splashdown, I think of course there's a lot of merit to having that bubble, but you know, without something like strikes, without these sort of invulnerable things for pushes, they're putting themselves maybe at a big disadvantage as it pertains to their pushes, which is why they're having a lot of trouble dealing with Lazarus, who is just with ease, making sure that the members go down and get checked as they try and push.
Mm-hmm. Finally, there's a little bit of a break in the tension here as they get the Rainmaker. Don't just put it straight in Punchy's face. That's not going to work well. But they're able to kind of get a bit of control back and get it in the mid, even though the Rainmaker does almost immediately go down. Mound just kind of like sharking over there.
Maybe taking a break.
Mm-hmm, just
mid game.
Mm-hmm. just you know, need to breathe a little bit. But they're, oh, I was gonna say they're finally getting their push going, but no, it doesn't go for very long.
Listen, you can't blame them for maybe taking that break there because a lot is going on. 2 members down on Casablanca. It just seems as though they haven't been able to catch a break, and I think even of note, aside from the fact that obviously Lazarus has been able to push all the way to 10. Casablanca has yet to break first checkpoint, which is really like your first order of business. Once you break that checkpoint, then you can kind of talk about getting a push down enough. But like, you know, they haven't even gotten through that yet too. So of note, they are a strong team. They're a seasoned team. They're locking in, taking their time and realizing that pushing into a team, especially one with an E-leader, is just going to spell disaster, and they do get wiped. So this patience for them not necessarily paying off, unfortunately. But with Auraboy still up, not taken down yet, keeping this pressure, it is now time for Lazarus, knowing that they have just 30 seconds left, to maybe put down the stall and make it difficult for Casablanca to proceed at all.
Yes, indeed. Important to note, those strikes, they could have been GG strikes, but they were used just a little bit early there and not able to get very much
a sharking leader?
What is this? Okay, what are you doing? Okay, just kind of chilling. They're taking their break, which is the only reason they're alive here. What are you doing? What is this?
This is what they're doing.
Oh my god.
It's the hidden Kraken. You know, Casablanca, I'm almost positive They saw that a Kraken was possible for Bake to have. So instead of being up and shooting and trying to end the game early, Bake knew that they were better off just sharking and hiding so that they couldn't be picked off, because otherwise they just say, oh, there's the leader, we know where they are, we're going to make sure we get them down so they can't pop that Kraken. And they said, listen, you can't kill me if you don't know where I am. A little bit of hide and seek there.
It's just such a weird position to be in when you're like, okay, it comes down to right at the end. One team's got everyone's alive. They've got the objective. The rest of your team's dead. You know what time it is? It's sniper camping time. It absolutely worked. The Kraken could get a lot of work done given the right circumstance, and that was it. Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of mileage from this special there, I would argue. We were talking about, this isn't necessarily a leader map. It's a custom e-leader map.
Yes.
Perhaps.
It is indeed. Oh my goodness. But Lazarus able to take the set with a very, very good final game from them. They were very dominant throughout that Rainmaker game. And that does mean they're going to continue to sit and wait to see who's going to come back and fight them again. Is it going to be Casablanca, or is someone else who's currently in the losers bracket going to be able to dethrone them and come back swinging for Lazarus? So it really does depend. But with that in mind, we've kind of seen a lot of this tournament, but there is another set of commentators who are waiting in the wings impatiently.
Yes, we have perhaps overstayed our welcome a little bit here. And so we will be handing all of you beautiful listeners over to our second block of commentators. But that's gonna be it, and we wish them luck, and we hope that you'll stay for grand finals. But before we leave, Zari, give me those plugs and those socials in case the people want to keep up with you.
Well, if you are at all interested, you can find me on Blue Sky at Zarani, on Twitter at SPL and on Twitch at Zarani, where we play a lot of fun games, not just Splatoon. But what about yourself, Sassy?
Similarly, I also have strong branding, and all of my social media is the same as well. You can find me on Blue Sky at Sasu in your pants. That's SASUIN, the letters UR pants, and that is my Discord, my Instagram, my literally everything. If I have that social media, then that will be the tag on there.
I'm very consistent. You love to see it. But yes, with that in mind, we're going to be passing this over to, I do believe, Pat and Sitokari. So do not be going anywhere. There's still a hell of a climb for some of these teams to get out of losers. So yeah, this is still very much all to play for, to see who's going to be facing Lazarus. So don't be going anywhere.
We've had plenty of great Splatoon locals that took place in 2024, spanning all across the United States. Champions have been crowned from coast to coast, the Great Lakes, and the South. These winners, however, never had an opportunity to face each other. What if in 2025, we took this to the next level? Introducing the Splatoon LAN Championship Showdown, a tournament where the winners of our favorite locals can face off in an online 8-team double elimination tournament. The best part is, you have an opportunity to play. In the early months of 2025, 8 locals will act as qualifiers for the LAN Championship Showdown, including Big Dapple in New York City, New York.
The game!
Bouillabaisse in San Jose, California. Chai Shoals in Chicago, Illinois.
Pretty hard though. Yeah, just like that.
Gatorland in Gainesville, Florida.
It's just, oh, it's a wipeout, and that might be 8 points.
H-Town Splashdown in Houston, Texas. New England in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, they fell off the. Oh my God!
Sea Battle in Seattle, Washington.
It's a wipeout.
Sunset Surge in Arizona. Win at one of these locals, you get an automatic bid to participate in the LAN Championship Showdown in April 2025, streamed on Splatoon Tourney. Be on the lookout for advertisements from the local closest to you regarding their qualifier. Who will come out on top?
Spoke too soon, apparently. We're not flipping the zone. Come on, guys, we're not flipping the zone. Information, a bit more control. Hydra just bowling and hello.
We're just gonna give more players power clams. That's exactly what's happening. So they got them all in. Oh my goodness.
Do you want to get started in competitive Splatoon, but don't know how to? The Stronghold offers a free Beginners Academy service for new players wanting to play Splatoon competitively. We want to make it as easy as possible for new players to join competitive. We'll create teams out of applicants and train you through a season providing scrims, practices, and coaching. At the end of the season, teams that graduate will play in their first community tournament. Graduating teams will be given a free logo and invited to play in the invite-only Academy Showcase event, where they get to play on stream and show off the skills they've learned in the Academy. So what are you waiting for? Apply for the Academy today using the link on screen.
Introducing the Splatoon LAN Championship Showdown. A tournament where the winners of our favorite locals can face off in an online 8-team double elimination tournament.
Kick down the clock, all 4 of them alive. 2
That's
picks.
it. Put one behind the toilet. Can they get something too?
The best part is, you have an opportunity to play.
Oh!
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 Oh! Oh!
That's
all the marbles!
That's all. Oh my gosh! Oh!
Oh, it's a lot of control. He might just get in here. They
allowing them to take the lead.
Barely. You're gonna get blocked by the map.
You gotta go! No!
It's up to Red to recap the zone all on her own. And they get
Just
it.
like
Got
starting. I can see the game starting. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Splat with Sig, and we're watching loser semifinals. It's surprising versus $80 MKW. Welcome. Hey, I'm so glad to be here for Paddling Pool 313. Let's go. And they're starting painting the zone.
We're on mincemeat zones. We've got a Nautilus, Decapitator, Seabless Jr., no cooler on the side of $80 MKW. And then a pretty standard, splash, bucket, headed, but also with a brush on the side of Uprising.
Yeah.
Definitely able to play around the mobility, play around cover, and really take advantage of those crab tanks and the brush causing chaos for the rest of the team to kind of capitalize. But so far, $80 MKW has really been doing a good job at setting up, getting the hold off. Skywolf is coming through with a splashdown, not quite able to find anything, getting picked off. Now it's only a 2v4, but Apple finds one onto Lulu, still has the zone and gets another solid amount of chip onto Eamon. It's going to delay just a couple seconds longer, and $80 MKW, their first push is already down to past 50 points here, Pat.
Yeah, but here comes the answer by Uprising. They're in control of the zone and pushing $80 away, establishing themselves now. Apple trying to get in with that Decapitator, but has to fight Lulu right here, able to get the splat, and that's going to be $80 coming forward and getting to the zone with a splashdown. They'll have a lot of pains.
Yep, all of that paint combined with the quad bomb from the Junior as well, going to allow them to just fully recap that zone. And now it's just a matter of numbers. They have a couple, but not quite going to find any picks to go along with it, except the bomb finds one. The zone is still in their favor, though. And that's going to be pretty big, but Mondi's the last one left on the zone, providing some jumps, going to have to stay alive here, but getting rushed down by 2. Lulu finds one, gets that second onto the jump as well, and Lidl and Eamon are here just to bring up the rear for the rest of Uprising, and this is the real opportunity here. They're only about 10 penalty points away from taking that, or from closing in on that lead, and with the crab tank and the strikes coming through as well, it's looking fantastic so far.
Yeah, Uprising, they looked pretty rough at the start, but right now they're about to get back the lead, and they're holding pretty strong now. A splat on Glash will allow $80 to go in with 2 splats right now. Little trying to hold the zone, but oh wait, what? Uprising able to hold, to defend completely. Mondi is able to get a splat, but forced away. The splashdown is not enough to cap, and Uprising is holding until 12 with 2 players down on the side of $80. It's not over. Uprising are still around the zone, maintaining the fight.
If they've got that recap just in time, and now Apple's just trying to look to maybe set up a big bubbler, establish some presence with Skywolf here on this truck, just set up kind of a barrier between Uprising and the zone, and that big bubbler is going to do just that. Eamon just trying to find some space with that crab tank, clears out a little bit of the area, but not quite able to find Skywolf. Skywolf able to box out just until they get picked off. Now the strikes come through, the zone gets flipped, but Apple is in the backline, finds one, looks for the second onto Eamon, but isn't quite able to get it, and Lulu goes down in the zone here. This is exactly what $80 kind of want now with the big bubbler set up again, but the zone is neutralized. This paint output from Uprising is incredibly strong, and Lidl finds 2 on top of the zone. That might be, that is definitely a tough one for $80 here. They're not really able to get that zone cap. They're back to basically where they started with that penalty point too.
Yeah, that's the power of the heavy edit for you. And right now, Uprising are back in defensive position, getting more and more, defending pretty well. But they lost their heavy edit, and they have to respawn, get back in there. It looks like $80 will be able to get back control of the zone and set themselves up onto the trucks. But right now, they need to hold good control because there's only 1 minute left into the game, Sig.
There might not be a minute left, just with how low the score is getting for $80. They still have control. They've picked Lulu off as well. That's a lot of that's your kind of your main agitator if you are Uprising here. But now with the strikes on deck, there's a real opportunity. However, Glash ends up going down. That's 3 players. $80 have an opportunity to take this lead, and they're going to do just that right now. Lulu's the only one left up, but with no other teammates, this Killer Whale isn't going to be able to find everything. Burst Bombs won't either, and Uprising need to make a mad dash for the zone. They're able to get it to neutralize, but no. $80 MK World take the first game. Pretty tight contest there, but they're able to clean up the KO.
Yeah, great game, number 1. Both teams able to have good holds, able to stay on the zone, stay in control, but in the end, it's $80 able to really keep it and punish Uprising before Uprising was able to move in.
Yeah, fantastic holds. The double bubble really being put to good use by $8. Something that we've seen just, slightly more recently. Just, so many bubble weapons are so strong, especially the Junior and the Decavitator. Just you're able to hold for so dang long with the two of those. You can burn a lot of the other team's utility. And especially when you have to deal with both Tri-Strikes and a Crab Tank, those big bubblers can really be forced to kind of use... Those big bubblers can kind of force those specials to be used on places that aren't the zone or somewhere that, $8 doesn't want Uprising to kind of have access to.
Yeah, very, very nice moves by $80. Very nice control over the map. Not an easy map to play. And we're going to a very different map, not as open, a lot more cover for both teams to sneak their way through. It's going to be... I don't remember the name. Tower control on the Undertow Spillway.
Undertow Spillway, one of the maps. Funny little thing. Do you, Pat? I need to settle an argument really quickly. So I have a really quick question. You know the part of the map that kind of got opened up in mid underneath Snipe, kind of that hallway. What do you call that? Because I've heard. As of the past week, I've heard about 7 or 8 different ways to call it, and I need to get an outside opinion here. What do you think it is?
I'm kind of retired in terms of comp, so I don't play. I don't have a call out for it.
That is fair.
I'd call it Underglass. Yeah.
Okay. That is also a new one. Long story, nobody knows what to call it, but we're going to be getting right back into it. $80 get a little bit of touch on the tower. However, Apple does end up going down here. Now, Eamon and Glash are just trying to push forward, press their advantage just a little bit more. These two short-range shooters are putting in work, and Lulu's there to clean things up. Lidl's just riding that tower, kind of chilling out right now, and has actually ended up switching to the heavy deco here with the Kraken. It's a pretty interesting pick. We don't see that too often.
Yep. And we see a lot of slats coming back and forth, both teams getting a lot. Apple dodging with that Decavitator, getting in and getting 2 splats on the tower, completely controlling the situation. Uprising not able to get to the second checkpoint. They broke the first one, but let's be honest, that first checkpoint is pretty much a formality.
Yeah, if you don't break that first checkpoint, it's, you're basically just not touching the tower whatsoever for the entire game. And now, as both teams end up breaking that check, it's a question of who can break through the second one. That's going to really put you in a solid advantage here. And with Mondi riding, just kind of dancing around everything that Uprising is throwing at the rest of the team, they're going to get to that second check. But the question is, how fast can they break it? Lido's going to stall a little bit with that Kraken, but the rest of the team is there to hold a lot of space. Mondi ends up going down, though. There's the tower just completely resetting. Skywolf is here on their own in the bottom left. Finds one, but not able to get the second one. Apple's trying to clean up, but this constant fighting duo of these short-range shooters of Glash and Eamon, I believe, on the splash, just fantastic for Uprising, really putting in work for them right here.
Yeah, Uprising right now taking control of the map, pushing to the second checkpoint there, back to it. Now can they break it? They have a crab to help, but Apple is still behind. Diving in, only getting one this time. That's not going to be enough. The lead is for Uprising, and so is the checkpoint. They still have the numbers around. Can they push to the third? It looks like with the help of Lidl in a Kraken, they're still disrupting a bit. But they're not able to keep the tower there yet.
They are getting close, though, down to 29 points. Lulu ends up going down on the tower thanks to that splashdown. Really just solid placement from Skywolf. Forces everybody off, forces everyone on Uprising all the way back to mid now, and Apple's able to kind of capitalize here with a big melee and the bubble pop. And with both bubblers kind of active right now for $80. They're going to have a ton of map control for this offensive. The question is, do they know if Lidl's here? Lidl able to find one, gets a lot of damage onto a second player, but Apple's there to clean it up. It's 2 on 3, though, for Uprising. Lulu tagged down. It's just Apple left, and Apple almost finds the pick on the Glash. The rest of the team is jumping in. Glash kind of has to jump out here, and now, even with this Crab Tank popped, $80 are making some solid progress.
Apple is such a powerhouse right now, running around, getting splat after splat, and with 2 players down, on each side, they have 3-for-1. Mondi getting the jumps, but it's completely marked. I guess the tower is going to move back as $80 are trying to hold their position, and Mondi is still around here.
Oh, Mondi is dancing around, but they are the last player left, along with the Blaster. Oh, actually, all of the team, Eric and Skywolf, they're just bringing up the rear, jumping in, getting a cheeky little flank off. It's going to work out excellently for them. $80 are not out of it just yet. They still have to get through that second check, but they are close. Eric just tries to create a little bit more space, goes down, but the rest of the team is ready to go. The big bubbler gets popped. The bombs are coming through. Glash on a bit of a shark here. Can you find anything? One, but you're going to go down to the splashdown. It's just one player left, though, on the side of $80, and they're going to get picked off immediately by a suction bomb. It's just Lido left, and Lido on top of this tower. You really can't run at a heavy Splatling, and that is going to set up Uprising for success here. I can speak English, I swear.
I believe you can.
Yeah, we're close to overtime, and Uprising have ideal positioning, basically.
Yeah, I mean, all two teams are within the same checkpoint. A single push could completely flip the script, change things, but right now Uprising still has that advantage. As I say, that $80 are moving forward again. The big bubbler allowed them to stay on the tower, and now they're still pushing Leo. With the Kraken running at the tower, but only able to push people away. They need to splat people, and here comes the splats. 2 down, 3 down. It's a wipeout, and with 10 seconds left, it looks like Uprising are going to get game number 2. We have a tiebreaker on our hands, Sig.
Yeah, we have forced a Game 3. Uprising, especially in that last minute, have played fantastic defense, giving a little bit, but not really letting $80 kind of take a lot, especially not letting them take the lead. Just fantastic work, really great kind of cycling all the specials that they had on defense as well, whether that be the Crab Tank, the Tri-Strikes, or the Kraken. They really put all of those to great use.
Yeah. Great defense right there by Uprising, able to force their way through. And Apple, with that Decavitator, was able to dive in so many times and create so much disruption within Uprising. But after a while, the pushes from Apple were less and less effective as Uprising was adapting to the moves, to the flanks. And in the end, Uprising held their lead by just one extra splat right there.
Yeah, all it took was one suction bomb. You know, you just back out of the way, play around a corner a little bit more, and, you know, that can completely flip the game on its head. We could be talking about $80 just clutching up if that wasn't the case. But now we're going to be talking about Rainmaker on Humpback Pump Track. The Rainmaker map now. Very slope heavy. And I think it's safe to say that we're not going to be seeing any pencils for this game here.
Maybe not, but I think we're gonna keep seeing a lot of speed and two teams that like to run at each other and fight, which I love to see that, and we'll see how things go. Pay especially attention to Lulu on the side of Uprising. Lulu is an absolute cracked brush player, and on this map where you have the hill to hide yourself, having a brush that can run forward and just slap you in the face is a big boon to a team.
Yeah, Lulu, one of the best brushes in Europe, like you said earlier. Absolutely fantastic. This map really leans towards the fighting that we've seen. I think we definitely have to keep our eyes peeled for Apple on that Decavitator as well. Can just take up so much space, especially around the elbow where you have that really tight choke. Just a couple of heavy slashes from that Decavitator can really just chunk people out there. Very effective weapon, and big bubbler too, just to create a lot of space for the team. Definitely the two players I'm going to be keeping my eyes on for this game.
Yeah, and here we go. Not much surprise in terms of team comps. That's weapons we've seen so far. Lidl bringing back that Splatling with the Kraken. Kraken can stop the Rainmaker in an instant, and is a great finisher for the game.
As we saw in the winners final set, Kraken can put it end things right quick. But speaking of right quick, $80 have already broken the first checkpoint. We are not even 30 seconds through. This Kraken is struggling to find picks, but it does find one. And Lulu, like you said, on the lookout, just finds one. It looks for the second one and completes the wipeout. for Uprising. They may have given a checkpoint, but they have a ton of space to work with, and Lulu is already in prime position to kind of be a nuisance for this rush. Mondi goes and finds the pick, though, with a Splat Bomb onto Glash. That's going to really stall things out, but the Splat Bombs won't really find Lidl. You're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive and maybe a bit more creative, but now Lidl is able to just break that checkpoint, but right afterwards gets splatted. Apple has an opportunity, and with Melee looking for another one on the Glash here, going to find the third, and we are basically all tied up here, Pat.
Yeah, it only took 1 minute to break both the checkpoints, and now we have all two teams back to trying to push. This time it's on $80 to get their action. They're already almost at the checkpoint, at the elbow, trying to go in, and now the specials are deployed. Little able to help with that splat. Lots of specials deployed by both teams as Uprising are able to take back control of the Rainmaker and forcing to push $80 away and back to spawn.
Yeah, $80 have been pushed basically all behind mid at this point. Really great just taking of the map by Uprising here. Mondi's going to be forced to jump out as the last member left. Another basically full wipeout, and now with 3 specials on the side of Uprising, they're going to be able to make a massive push here for that lead. The Crab Tank already getting popped, just forcing a lot of people out. The Kraken also finding space, but Lulu ends up going down with that Rainmaker. Going to put a pretty quick stop to things. Mondi with these bombs has been putting in work and getting the double with it too, just forcing everyone off Rain, everybody to back out of elbow. Just really turned this into a death pit for Uprising.
Yeah, great moves right there. $80 able to hold their control of the mid. Just a bit of paint all around. They know right now that they can take a bit their time because they have a decent lead now. On this map, you're never safe until you get a KO. But right now, the pressure is all on Uprising to really move in.
And let's see, they're trying to move in, but Apple is just kind of distracting them, not allowing them to move forward as they find the couple of picks, and Lulu's behind. The Rainmaker gets picked up, the splashdown comes through, finds one. $80, they have a lot of space to work with thanks to Lulu's preparation. Gets the pick onto Eric too. Apple's trying to shut down the Rainmaker, but the Kraken and the rest of the team, Uprising have a real shot here, and they've already gone down past 10 points. It's just Eric left standing, going to be able to find that Rainmaker, but Lulu and Lidl are still alive here, able to kind of hold down the fort. Finds the pick onto Eric, looking for that Splatling one. They're going to take it and lose just really quickly. However, the Rainmaker is picked up by $80. They have an opportunity. The Lulu ends up going down. There's a Shark gone too, and with a minute and a half left, Pat, there's a lot of time for $80 to possibly make a play.
Yeah, $80 still have an opportunity. No lead is safe here in this tiebreaker, but Lulu is behind everybody, getting the splats with that brush. 2 versus 2 with 1 minute left. $80 are able to get the repop, and they get another attack.
Ooh, Apple just zoning everybody off this tactical cooler. Lulu able to pick it up, just barely able to duck, dive, and dodge just out of those Rainmaker shots and the Decapitator. Mondi just making a mad dash into the face of 2 specials. Gonna go down here. It did end up getting a few more points on the board for $80, but the rest of the team is really not in a position to kind of capitalize. 40 seconds left, and now Uprising has the lead, and the Rainmaker, scratch that, they only have the lead. And Apple's just looking for so much more for the rest of the team. There's a lot in their favor now. Apple's just trying to make a little bit more space, maybe find a Glash right there. And now we have a serious shot here for $8. Apple's already on the pedestal. Eric just needs to find a way to run this Rainmaker in. Apple does end up dying in their own bubble, but there's still time. There's still a shred of onto this losers finals.
Both teams are looking at each other. Eric waiting for the opportunity, being very prudent with that Rainmaker, waiting for the specials to be over, but waiting a little bit too much. Uprising was able to run in, punish, and get game number 3. That's a 2-1 for Uprising, who are going to qualify for the losers finals.
Yeah, they punched their ticket for the lower bracket. Now, they've made a bit of a loser's run for themselves right now. I do need to open up the bracket. They have won now 4 sets in a row picking up some fantastic momentum, getting some really good set wins as well. But now they're going to have to, they're moving on to lose finals. They're going to play against Casablanca.
Yeah.
After this really quick break, that's going to be a tough game.
For sure. We'll take a very, very short break and we'll be right back.
Your eyes, you'll be here soon. Itchy knees and cheek of phone. Doki doki honto ni netai. Demo kono wa do dekinai.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Paddling Pool 313. I'm Sig Dakari. Joining me on the mic today is Pat. We've got your lower bracket finals queued up for y'all. We got Uprising versus Casablanca.
Yeah, two great teams that we've already seen tonight. And before we go into the game, Sig, hi. We didn't have this time to say hi to each other.
We did it.
How are you today?
I'm doing okay. You know, it's been a pretty interesting day so far. You know, what with the direct that happened earlier, and then I had a couple of classes. But how's your day been so far, Pat?
I had nothing to do today but watch the direct and get hyped and like talk with friends about it. So I've had a great day.
That is fair, but hopefully it's going to be that much better because we got these two absurd teams. We just saw Uprising take a nail-bitingly tough Game 3 win over $80 for Mario Kart World in the lower bracket. We see Casablanca coming off 2 sets ago against off a heartbreaking Game 5 in the winners bracket final. We're starting things off on Clam Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy, a map that we don't really see often anymore, but something that has still been a competitive staple for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it's good to see it still alive and kicking.
To me, it's still a classic. To me, it's still the kind of map where you expect teams of this level that have been playing it since Splatoon 2, since Clam Blitz came out. These teams know how to play this. These teams know what to do, and you can expect very, very fast push. I think low to mid-level teams kind of struggle to get forward. Top-level teams, they are fast and they know how to move forward whatever happens, which makes these maps so fun to watch.
I completely agree, and we're already seeing that in full effect, basically, as Aka finds a trade, but also ends up getting traded out themselves. Lulu on the other side of the map is able to find one, looking for that second, but that brush follow-up damage is just too much. Lovedog able to get that next pick. And now just trying to stabilize a little bit more, kind of allow the team to get moving a little bit forwards. Oroboy36 is on the ledge, doing a little bit of movement, finding that pick onto the heavy edit is going to be pretty big. And now Eamon here just trying to hold on to that power clam, but isn't able to jump out in time. Oroboy has made so much space for Casablanca here.
Yeah. Casablanca has taken the splats. Now can they take the clams to make a super clam? But no, it looks like Leo is back in position to defend, but is pummeled by the crab tank, forced away. Casablanca still haven't opened the basket, but they're so close to it.
Yeah, they've had the space to do so for quite a while. It's just that they haven't had the economy. They finally get a break there, and now they've gotten a little bit of the scoring going, but Lulu's on a bit of a flank, just trying to cause chaos, maybe turn some heads, and that's going to work successfully, beautifully, might I add. Finds 2 picks, looking for that third one on the Aka as well, and going to find it is the rest of Uprising. And now only about 19 points. That's about, or 29 points, I can count. Have gone in favor of Casablanca. That's really just within arm's reach for Uprising here on this offensive, and they have a ton of space to just shut that down fast.
It's as you said, Sig, Uprising, Casablanca didn't have that much in terms of economy, which allowed Casablanca to defend very slowly. They were not in a hurry. They knew there weren't that many clams to score in the first place, but now Casablanca is back under the basket with another bubbler. They get punished, but they reopen the basket, extend their lead a little bit. Now, Uprising able to take back control again and to save that Super Clam Pity. Now they need to paint around, they need to prepare a push, but they haven't managed to really get enough control to do that yet.
Oh, with that Booyah Bomb and Crab Tank, there's a definite opportunity. Lidl gets that first power clam in. It's just on the rest of the team to kind of capitalize and extend that push. They get a 1 clam in, but maybe that's about it. Aka just trying to take a fight with Eamon, finds the pick, but with 3 players down, that push is as good as gone for Uprising. And now Casablanca, like you said, these top-level teams are very, very fast at turning things around. We already see 2 players knocking on the plat of Uprising. That crab tank from Aka getting popped immediately. Yoshi here with 5 clams and a big bubbler to just hold even more space, able to get Exnor in with that power clam. This score could really go down quickly, and it's already down past 30, Pat.
Yeah, great moves right there by Casablanca.
Oh.
Uprising and Lulu getting the splats, getting the defense, but now they need to turn these splats into pointers. They're already by the basket, getting an extra plat, reopening the basket. This could be the opportunity for Uprising. They have a lot of clams, Sig.
Oh, they're just one off. Eamon's trying to hold for as long as humanly possible. Provide that jump in for the pity with that Booyah Bomb. There's the lead. They have enough to KO here possibly, but not able to get those clams in. Lulu gets picked off just before. Eamon just trying to maybe get a little bit more. Gets picked off by 3 players of Casablanca. With that wipeout, they've really given themselves up here. There's a serious opportunity for Casablanca. Aka's already moving towards, has a second power clam, but there's a disconnect. No!
Oh, in the last minute, Casablanca still had maybe a chance for a lead, but right now it's going to be so rough. That's so sad to see it in the last minute. Uprising reopening the basket right there. They're very much ready to KO. 2 more clams is all they need, and they have a crab tank, but they don't have these 2 extra clams that they need. Sid, we're going to have to wait for 30 more seconds.
Oh, that's a tough one. Both the not getting that KO just off of clam pods, but also the disconnect especially, because now you have to basically play out the rest of this. You know, you don't really have an opportunity to win unless possibly you can get something cheesy. You have 2 power clams at the ready. That is close to enough for a full lead swap, but you have to do it in overtime. You have to do it quickly, and Aka's just trying to fight in this bottom left, able to find 1 actually. This is entirely possible, but you have the rest of Uprising just looking, waiting, and catching Aka before even able to move into that bats.
Yeah, the 2 remaining players have super clams on them, which means Uprising know exactly where they are. There isn't any time left. That's going to be game 1 for Uprising, but that's not how we want things to go.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty rough way to end the last minute of game 1 if you are Casablanca. But on the side of Uprising, you had a fantastic lead. You had a real opportunity to even hold that, and you know, that's a great way to establish some momentum. And you know, just on the mental side of the game, it kind of establishes, you know, yourself, you know, and it kind of chalks out Casablanca just a little bit. Uprising, you know, it might not be how you want to end it, but you were moving on that game.
Yeah. I mean, both teams showed us great pushes, but Uprising was really the team that was able to get that one big push that gave them almost a KO. And that's the kind of thing like that wins the games in Clam Blitz. Really being able to hold the push, hold the basket open, get that extra pity clam in the basket for 20 more points. Uprising did what they needed to do right there. They stayed patient for the bigger push, and Casablanca, they showed that they had map control, that they had the fight, that they had a lot, but they didn't have the coordination, the clan economy to follow through in terms of points. Now, we're done with clams for now, but we'll have more games to play. This time we're going to go on to Wahoo World for Splat Zones.
This is a map.
It
certainly one of the maps ever.
Yeah.
I believe Uprising, I think, picked this one. Very solid for Brush. A lot of opportunities to kind of get behind the other team and really wreak some havoc.
Yeah, it's very much a cheeky map where you can have cheeky plays, and Brushes love that, for sure. Casablanca still, they have the tools to defend themselves, to do a lot. We'll see how these 2 teams are able to do going into the second game. I see all players from Uprising have already pressed A. It's Casablanca that's waiting, that's discussing strategy right now.
Yeah, this map we really don't see almost ever. So I really don't blame them. You know, they might be a little bit rattled going into this game 2, just with everything happening, and then playing this thing. Like, oh my goodness, what are we doing here, people? But we're going to be seeing Uprising running back that same comp. Yoshi has switched over to the shot, and I believe we've also gotten that blaster back and the dualies back for the side of Casablanca here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much good, good weapons overall. And Lulu is already to the side. While there's a crab tank above the zone, that's going to give Uprising the zone control to open. Very, very nice opening by Uprising. You can tell that they have a plan for this map.
Oh, 100%. They've already... This opening has been fantastic for them. They forced Casablanca out so far from the zone, but now with that Zuka pick, the rest of the team, the rest of Casablanca is able to capitalize. Orboy finds a pick onto Eamon, and then with the splashdown, they're going to be able to get that recap in with the rest of the team pushing forwards onto the zone. Now Casablanca have... they have the control. They have a little bit of a man advantage now. Make that a 3-on-3. But Aka's there, cleans up one, looking for that last one. Not quite able to find it, but the crab tank is going to be putting in work, chipping out Lidl for so much. And with the Zuka and the suction bomb, Lidl just has to stay constantly mobile here. The lead swaps, but the zone flips shortly after that. And now we kind of reset a little bit more to neutral now.
Yeah, our two teams are back to fighting, but it's already 2 down. Onto Uprising. The crab tank is able to hold things for them right there. But Casablanca are able to contest the zone more and more. As Uprising is still fighting simply to stay there.
Oh, they're fighting hard to just hold their space that they have right now. They've gotten 2 picks, but this crab tank... Oh, that crab tank popped in everybody's face. Aka, great positioning from it. Really opportune time as well. Really able to catch people off guard. And that's 2 players down on the side of Uprising. The Booyah Bomb from Eamon gets popped, but it's not going to do much more than just force people to look at the zone a little bit. There's 2 players again down on the side of both teams. And that's really just not going to progress the situation for anybody. And that's going to benefit Casablanca. Their score is ticking down past 25. The crab tank gets picked off. And they're in big trouble.
Huge punish on the crab tank right there. Uprising needs that Booyah Bomb to paint the zone, but it's not painting enough. Can Uprising paint Casablanca all around the zone with numbers advantage? Are going to get the final splat to tie up the score. Beautiful game by Casablanca, really taking control over the whole map, Sig.
Yep, they have taken it and run with it the entire way. It looked fantastic. It looked really good. The game plan looked like it was executed wonderfully from the side of Uprising at the very start of the game. But as soon as Casablanca got going, they kind of just did not stop. It was a stomp for them outside. Every single pick that Uprising got, they were trading out. They even found some great opportunities to pop Zuka, Crab Tank, all that jazz to really disrupt the retake from Uprising, and it worked beautifully.
Yeah, great game right there by Casablanca. Uprising had the better opening, but in the end, Casablanca were able to come back onto the zone, and once they were in control of the zone, Uprising was really struggling to get back in there to push them away. And in the end, if you can't be pushed away from the zone, you win the game.
That is the name of the game. Control the zone for as long as possible. You get that K, you can. And that's exactly what Casablanca did. They even the setup. We're going on to Undertow Spillway again. This time on Rainmaker. And this is again another staple Rainmaker map. We really only see a couple of them coming through nowadays, but this has been there since the start of the game.
Yeah, very much a classic Rainmaker, classic aggro weapons, fight. I love to see this map, especially since it's really the kind of map that gives you a choice for the checkpoint, and lots of players elect to go for the left path, which honestly is the safest. If you want a sustained push, that's where you want to go. But the right path, it's fast. You can break the checkpoint incredibly fast with it. Like the continuation on it, bad, but you can get that checkpoint, and sometimes on games that are pretty even, it can create the difference.
Oh yeah, you can get down to even like sub 30 points pretty quickly if you can just create a little bit of space on the ramp, whether that's through like Tri-Strikes, Booyah Bombs, Zuka Picks, Big Bubblers. Point is, you have a lot of opportunities, a lot of ways with specials to extend that lead past that fast checkpoint. It's really a question of, do you have the time to burn? Do you have, positions already set up? And are you comfortable with playing that quickly?
Yeah. playing that quickly is very much the name of the game. Let's get right in. Glash moving to the 52 gal. Meanwhile, not much of a change, I believe. We keep having weapons to fight and to get in.
Yeah, again, the only change is that 52 gal able to fight a lot more, take a lot of fights, and win them, especially with that, with the splash wall. However, it's not looking great for the side of Uprising right now. Already 2 players down, getting that pick. The Trizuka ends up finding nothing, though, and Lulu is just trying to make some space for the rest of the team. Eamon ends up going down here. Lidl just grabs the Rainmaker real quick, and already gets a couple of points on the board, just down to 98 for now, but puts the Rainmaker in a pretty solid spot to just stall out and provide some space for the rest of the team, give them a little bit of breathing room here.
Yeah, even if these points aren't worth much, Uprising still get some time in their next defense. They get to wait, but right now they are pierced through. The Rainmaker is splatted. Casablanca not able to get much point as well, and they get wiped. That is huge for Uprising. They instantly get the repop with the Tacticula. Now they have an actual push to go in.
Yep, and with those 2 extra picks, there's the lead. Lidl's already moving forwards, but gets caught out by Exnor here. The rest of the team is there to get that repop, try and create a little bit more space. Eric I believe this is Eric on the blaster, is not able to find that much. The Rainmaker does get picked up, gets picked off by Yoshi's Trizuka, and that spells basically the end of the push for Uprising here. 3 minutes in, and we're not even past 15 points removed on either team.
Yeah.
This is a pretty low-scoring game so far, Pat.
Yeah, teams are waiting for the opportunity, are not yet able to go through that trading specials right there, not able to really get much control. The repop is for Uprising, and still more fight before one team can really get forward.
Yep, not really anything happening right now. Yoshi finding that pick on the aim and getting traded off. Everything is just constantly, it's revolving around these fights non-stop. The Rainmaker is struggling to be pushed because of those fights, but now there's an opportunity. Lidl's down. Aka's looking for even more, has the Crab Tank at the ready. The rest of the team has that Rainmaker. Lulu, though, on the flank. Can they get there to shut it down? Aka able to kick off that fight. Exnor there to box out. Yoshi's just trying to look forwards with the rest of the team. Exnor finds that pick onto Lulu. They get the lead. They get the checkpoint as well. And now with the Crab Tank, they're looking for so much more. We finally get that check break. The Booyah Bomb comes through, though. But so does that Trizuka, and it finds an even longer man advantage for Casablanca.
Yeah, very nice break of the checkpoint by Casablanca, but that's only the break. There's still 2 minutes left in this game, Sig, and Uprising are able to get the repop. Now, can they clean up their side of the map? It looks like Casablanca is still around in the fight to stop Uprising from pushing in.
They're just trying to prevent them from even getting back to mid. This Booyah Bomb is going to put in a ton of work. Same thing with this Splash Wall. Orboy can't really find anything with it. And now Uprising, they have a little bit of a window to get in, but no picks to go along with it. Just the one that they got earlier. They're in mid. They have another pick, though, onto the head, onto Lidl. Or not Lidl, Exnor. But now Casablanca have a Trizuka. That is one of the best specials at shutting down pushes, especially in Rainmaker. But you're not even gonna need it as the brush, or as the as somebody goes in. I believe it was actually the Blaster finds one Glash. It's the trade though. It's 3 players down on the side of Casablanca. Uprising, they suddenly have a window here. Lidl has so much space for the team, and afterwards we have 2 specials on deck. This could be everything, Pat.
Yeah, the repop would certainly give the lead to Uprising right now. They're able to get the repop, but no, Casablanca is able to get back in there and defend. The jumps are coming in. Glash able to defend a little bit the jumps. Lulu is still around here. Lulu with the brush is able to keep the Rainmaker here, and Uprising is still there, ready to retake, and they get the lead.
You got it! Oh, there's no way. They just got the lead. Oh, these low-scoring games are so volatile. Lulu's just looking for more points, just trying to get a couple more on that board, just so Casablanca can't easily just rush in and take that lead right back in overtime as they just did. Aka able to find one pick, able to get that second with the Crab Tank, and now we have the pop, now we have the Rainmaker, but Lidl's sharking almost as a pick, but Auraboy is able to clean that up. And now we really start the tough game. Here's overtime. No cooler on the side of Casablanca. They're going to need to play this super slow. Trizooka at the ready, though. Have they cleared the shark is the big question. There's one in the bottom right of the map. Lulu's kind of distracting on the other side. There's that shark gone. Glash is down. The killer whale not able to find that much here. Aka's just trying to break some holes in the middle of the map. The Booyah Bomb from Eamon comes through. What are they looking for? They're just looking for that right side, trying to go fast as possible, but no, the respawn comes in from Glash just in time, and Lidl there to shut down as well, and Uprising hold on for game 3.
What a close game, seeing both of these teams doing everything they could to get in, but in the end it was Uprising hero move, hero push, being able to retake the Rainmaker right the second before it got popped, that allowed them to get the lead and the game.
Yeah, that was when we talk about clutch. Those are kind of the plays. Like Lulu had just, I believe that was Lulu. Yeah,
Lulu with a brush, rushing in.
Absolutely absurd clutch cleanup there for Uprising. Able to get that Rainmaker before it jumps off and resets. Able to just make the space for the rest of the team as well to get that lead back, and picks up the Rainmaker for even more points immediately afterwards. All while finding picks with bombs and Killer Whale on top of that.
Yeah.
Just incredible work. Great stuff. And then just the picks and everything. They really locked things down in that overtime defense too.
Yeah. And right before Lulu locked in with the brush, it was Glash with the 52, getting the super jumps in, defending just enough so that one of the super jumps survives and get to the Rainmaker. Very, very nice movement from the whole team. They're up 2-1 in this losers finals. Going into Sturgeon Shipyard on Tower Control. Is this Splatoon 2?
It might be. This map has made a bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with it, you know. Personally, this is one of the most overhated maps in the game, I feel. You know, it can be a little bit frustrating or awkward to play sometimes. But I mean, we have, what other maps do we have, you know? Like in Sender Q, you got to pick 7 maps. And I'm sure as heck not picking Barnacle Tower Control. So like this is the next option, really.
It's a great map if you're a Blaster player. Otherwise, it's hell.
You know what? That's fair. Buckets are pretty good on this too.
Yeah,
we're not going to see either of those.
Alright, pay attention to the Blaster, and let's get right in the game. Casablanca taking a lot of space here at the opening. Uprising waiting a little bit more for their Tacticular before putting themselves in their Glash, going in. And that was a double by Glash, and that's going to be Uprising taking control of the tower.
Oh, but not for very long, though. That Trizooka comes right in, cleans up a pick onto Aka, and now the rest of the team is just trying to find more. 2 players down, actually, on the side of Casablanca. This is a real opportunity. Glash with his Crab Tank, just trying to look to set up maybe top left here after getting a pick, but Yoshi is able to clean it up right there. Lidl trying to just stay safe against 2 on the tower, and the rest of the team is able to kind of support, get Lidl out of there. But now with 3 players down, it's just Lidl left, and isn't quite able to fend off the full team. That's a full wipeout in favor of Casablanca, and now they're finally getting that first checkpoint. Have a serious opportunity to blow the game wide open here, especially with Auraboy.
Yeah, very, very nice moves right there, Casablanca, maintaining the momentum, the numbers advantage. That's just the splash left standing for Uprising, and that splash is getting punished as well by the Blaster. who is going to die to the suction now. The second checkpoint and final checkpoint is broken by Casablanca, who are in position. Casablanca want that game number 5. They want that tiebreaker, and right now they're doing everything they need to do. Still on that tower, pushing it forward. The Booyah Bomb is going to stop them. Is just the Julies in there. Uprising still alive, but they took a beating.
Yeah, still alive, but 7 points off the KO on this map. Of all of them, where if you get past second checkpoint and then it's basically free pickings if you have just a couple of extra players.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult situation to be put in. You just kind of, it's a bit of a tough one to be in. Those checkpoints are tough to break. A lot of time if you don't have man advantage, and if you have Akka just diving your crab tank that is trying to create space for the rest of your team, even though you get the pick, it's not really easy to work with, especially with Aura Boy finding one, the Zuka finding another, and turning around immediately for that third. Uprising, their push is basically fully gone now.
Yeah, great. I mean, Casablanca really defending well and not stopping, going in the Julies, activating the crab, dodging around. And look at all that space that Casablanca has taken thanks to that crab tank right there. They're in so much control, but not able to splat the ink brush right there. It looks like Uprising are going to push the tower back into mid as they clean up their side of the map.
Yep, there's the cleanup, but the tower is still in Casablanca's favor. Uprising really have not moved past their spawn for about a minute here. And with this Trizuka, it's looking like Yoshi's just trying to make sure that's another couple of seconds. Casablanca, they're hungry for this KO. They're hunting for it. The cooler is up. The crab is close. But the head is down. So this is so far turning into a great defensive opportunity for Uprising. But 3 players are down. It is just a splash left. And with that wipeout, this could be pretty tough here, Pat. Casablanca could be forcing that 5th game. They're really wanting it. They have another Zuka at the ready. Lido goes down. The tower is getting rushed by 1 player. Make that another one. But one by one, they all fall down. Except for Glash, who finds 2. And Aga is there to shut down. 4 points standing between Casablanca and a game 5, and they're gonna get it here.
Casablanca sealing the deal, getting to that game number 5 with a KO. And Sig, both teams have beaten the other team on their picks twice.
Yeah. That's something you don't really see every day. Usually your map picks are supposed to help you.
Yeah, you're not supposed to help your opponent, but it looks like that's what happened right there. So
yeah, we're feeling charitable today.
So what, like, you cannot do charity anymore. We're going to go to a tiebreaker, a map that was chosen by the TO. We'll see who is able to win this set, going in game 5 on Clam Blitz on Scorch Gorge.
Oh, we're back to Scorch. Okay. Fun map. One of these staples again for competitive Splatoon. We've seen it in Rainmaker, we've seen it in Clam Blitz incredibly often and for basically almost the entire game's lifespan. Very, very interesting map. We all kind of know how it plays, though. You gotta really make sure you have that space set up around basket. Find picks when you're entering that ramp. And make sure you have a way to shut down that pencil, because sitting on any of the high ground on this map is just so potent. Those can really set things off. But we might not see a pencil. We really haven't seen pencils that much throughout this entire block, at least. So maybe heavy edit is the play here, but same deal there, just a little bit less range to worry about.
I mean, we've seen heavy edit be so powerful today and lately. Honestly, this weapon has been doing better and better, allowing teams to run faster, and especially as teams get used to playing with it, you really have teams doing incredibly well with that weapon, and that's a great weapon. I'm glad to see on Scorch Gorge, especially on Clam Blitz, where that kind of speed is pretty good. Heavy edit coming back wouldn't surprise me very much, especially for Uprising.
We're going to see the heavy edit for Uprising. Switching over to the Slosher, actually, is, I believe that's Glash. Glash has played like 4 or 5 different weapons throughout this entire set. flexible. Most of them being short line shooters, but they are still very flexible when it comes to just being able to play whatever. And now we're going to get straight into it. Lulu's already attracting the attention of two. Going to be able to jump out in time into the Trizuka line of fire. Able to stay safe, though, thanks to that tactical mobility. And now just dancing around the top mid, trying to stay alive for the rest of the team. 2 players down inside of Uprising. But Lulu's there to equalize just a little bit. Oh, and we're looking for just a touch more. Not quite able to find it, just dancing around. Casablanca have space now.
Yeah, but that dancing allowed Uprising to set themselves in defensive position. Casablanca got control of mid, but Uprising are waiting for them, and here comes Glash with the slosher, being punished, but wait, it's 2 down onto Uprising. Casablanca getting more and more now with a super clam. They'll open the basket and the score.
They've got that basket open. They're already getting a couple of clams in. A ton of clams, actually. Exnor has like 7 here. And we're going to go down to less than 40 points already off that first single push. Aka's looking for just a couple more, taking us down to maybe past 25. But Lidl's there to shut down, gets that trade. 3 players down on the side of Casablanca, and the 4th is respawning. So now Uprising, they have a lot of space to work with. They have an opportunity here. Auraboy trying to set up some solid defensive positions, maybe utilize that splashdown, but gets picked off by Lidl. And now Glacier with these strikes, just trying to start up this offense for Uprising.
Yeah, Uprising taking more and more control. It's their turn to push. Can they get a push as big as Casablanca did right now? Glash with that slosher punishing the crab tank, but getting traded for it. That's no more than 20 points for Uprising, which has to be disappointing, but they're still in control of the mid-sig, which means they're still the ones trying to push.
They have a power clam to work with, but they really don't have much else. Auraboy able to move forwards, finds 1 pick, looking for the second after finding so much chip, going to be able to get it. There's Glash gone too, and Lulu's just trying to pick up this power clam, isn't able to. Aka's there to kind of clean up. Exnor now just trying to grab a couple of more clams. Set up this push yet again. Aka has 6, Exnor has 6, and now they're just tossing for more, just trying to juggle these just to touch and either take out the economy fully for Uprising or set up an economy of their own, maybe go for a KO here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility with the amount of points that Casablanca have, especially with 2 minutes left. But right now, it looks like Uprising are the ones getting momentum, getting control. But they need to get clans. They have 2 players down now. Can they get to the basket and open it, get some more points? Looks like
no, not quite. Yeah, solid defense, like you just said. Good stuff so far. No power clam on the side of Uprising, but they have enough mini clams to kind of make it work. But Lidl ends up going down. There's a lot of your clams gone. However, a respawn pod just in time, and the strikes are ready, but none of the other players are. Glash is going to have to jump out here, wait for the rest of the team to respawn. And now they're just going to have to fully retake mid if they can even get there. Auraboy has already moved up to that top left, broken the barrier, has gotten picked off, but the rest of the team is holding strong in mid, even through these tri-strikes. What was initially going to be used to just fully break open this basket, hopefully break open the game for Uprising, has now been used to just kind of try to hang on.
And it looks pretty hard to hang on for Uprising right now with 1 minute left, and Casablanca has held control of this game for most of it. Uprising not really able to do much, and they get splatted with their pity as Casablanca is pushing in again. 3 players down, and Casablanca has so many clams, Sig.
They're gonna clean up the KO, Pat, and we are... Casablanca have booked themselves a ticket to the grand finals. They want that run back. They know they can get it, and we'll see them really soon. But fantastic play, absolute dominance in this game 5.
Yeah, great moves, great action by Casablanca right there. Uprising able to challenge them, able to take the advantage, to best them twice, but twice is not thrice, and Casablanca is going to go back to face our seed number 1 in Grand Finals right after this short break. And welcome back to Paddling Pool 313. We are back with the grand finals, which is going to be Lazarus going against Casablanca. Two great teams that fought to a game at number 5 in winners bracket. So we can expect them to give us a great show, and they will start with Tower Control on Manta Maria, Sig.
Yep, we're going to be kicking things off on Tower Control Manta Maria. Blasters are going to have a field day here. Like we saw, I believe there's a blaster on the side of Casablanca. If I am... Yeah, I believe so. I think it was Aura Boy. Now, Lazarus has a pretty deep roster. I'm seeing 2 E-Leader players here. I'm seeing an AoE player. I'm seeing Punchy on that splash. Silver on the Stamper as well. And Donut. Name I haven't seen in a little bit.
Why do you make a pickup with 2 E-Leader players?
I'm not sure.
Why?
Like they're 2 of the first 4 people here, so like both of them were put on this roster in mind that they might have to play together at some point.
That might happen. And they both very much like the backline, so I'm not sure how they'll sort it out. But for a start, it's going to be Devin 4K with the E-Leader to man the backline.
Yep. We're seeing E-Leader on Manta Maria, not really known to be one of the best charger maps, but you know what? If you're one of the best leaders in the West, you're able to play it wherever you want, man. And we see Punchy just picking up the Zap to kind of round out the comp. We have that Stamper and Bucket combo. Akka already ends up going down here. And Lazarus already have a pretty solid push up. Asta finds one and gets that second one with Silver. And that's out from this fighting trio of Lazarus. Excellent work so far, and they have really set the pace for this set.
Yeah, great opening by Lazarus here. Able to get in. The Zipcaster is going to be punished though, and with 2 players down. First checkpoint has been broken. The Kraken will allow a few jumps on the side of Lazarus, but Casablanca able to breathe, able to set themselves around the tower, but it's not over. Devin 4K still getting a few gems thanks to that beacon.
Yep, able to get jumps, able to sustain this offense for just a couple of seconds longer, provide some jump-ins for the rest of the team, and really just kind of make things easier for the players that are swimming back, like Punchy, who's getting that second cooler, just to kind of set up here and prevent Casablanca from taking too much space. You're sacrificing a little bit in the short term, but now you have Asta and Punchy already behind the rest of the team. 2 players down. Akka's just kind of stuck on the wall as the last one left. Gonna have to jump out here. Exnor goes down. Akka jumps to the tower and now is gonna have to fight 2-on-1, and you're not winning that against a Bucket and Stamper.
Yeah.
That's a really tough one to win. The Zip Catcher gets popped from Silver, but Auraboy is there to clean things up. And now just trying to fight against 3, stall out the rest of Lazarus. Not quite successful. Devin pops that Kraken, and Lazarus just continue pushing forward strong.
Yeah, Lazarus are back to that second checkpoint. But they lose a few players again. They lose 3 players. The Stamper is going to go back to spawn as well. It's a delayed wipe, but there's the beacon, Sig.
Uh-oh.
That's Lazarus getting back incredibly fast and getting back in attack mode. They're not stopping, and they're forcing Casablanca to defend every step of the way.
Yeah, this has really been a tough pace for Casablanca to match, whether they just really haven't been able to get anything going for themselves, whether that is through the specials, through the picks. You know, at most they've been able to equalize just a little bit, but, you know, you see it in the scoreline. Nobody's really touched tower for their team, and now, you know, they finally have an unanswered pick, make that a second one, but Aka ends up going down to Punchy. Devin's kind of able to hold up just a little bit longer, but now they have a couple of picks. But these beacons, yet again, Pat, they're doing everything that Lazarus want them to do. Asta, Punchy, and Silver have all jumped in just to kind of disrupt the rest of Casablanca, make life tough, and with these jumps from the leader, Lazarus can kind of just drop in anywhere without Casablanca really being able to do much.
Lazarus are just going in constantly. They're winning, they go in. They're losing, they go in. They're attacking or defending, they go in. They're not stopping. And it's paying off. I mean, Casablanca haven't been able to really tie up the score. As I say that, though, they have a numbers advantage. They have the momentum right now, and they're pushing that tower to that second checkpoint. They're pretty close to Lazarus.
Yep, it's just Asta left trying to directly defend, and they're going to find some picks. Yoshi gets a one with the Zuka, but not quite much more. Aka goes down. It's a full wipeout. And Lazarus, they hold on to their lead, but only just. They're going to need to start extending it just a bit more now. They've been a bit comfortable, but after that first check is gone, here's where you really need to start locking in, especially in this last minute.
Yeah, and right now we have Punchy going in with that zap, the aggro zap, as all of Lazarus is still defending that tower, trying to get through the checkpoint, but again, not able to go through. That beacon is not going to work.
No, that one might not be the best one in the world. But hey, you're still stalling a little bit. You know, you have to take the extra half second to kind of break the beacon here, and that's going to allow definitely just to find the pick onto Yoshi. Looking for just a little bit more. Aka's providing some jumps as the Crab Tank at the ready, but Crab Tank, it only has a couple of good spots, while Leader seems like it has every single good one in the world. Has a couple of fantastic picks, but Auraboy is able to clean up. Looks for more with that splashdown, gets the trade out. Yoshi just trying to fight Silver on that right side, and now Casablanca, they're so close to this lead, they can almost taste it. The strikes, they come through though with just 1 point left. They take it at the last second. They have to get on Lazarus too, but they don't. And Casablanca, through the strikes, through everything, they take our first game of Grands.
What a comeback by Casablanca, holding strong that whole game. They were constantly being attacked, forced to save themselves, splat to the left, splat to the right, as Lazarus was constantly jumping in more and more and more. But in the end, Casablanca, the patience paid off, and in the last second, literally, they got that lead.
Fantastic work. Really good staying cool under pressure from Casablanca there. You know, just the chaos that was caused by Lazarus really almost got to them. You know, with these beacons, with all the fights just going constantly in Lazarus' favor, it looked dire. But Casablanca, again, able to clean up, able to just clutch up, sneak onto the tower through those strikes. Nobody on Lazarus was able to contest with those strikes, and that allowed Casablanca to get the lead. Fantastic work. But now we move on to a very different map. Yeah. Definitely works great for E-Leader. It is Crab Leg Capital.
Yeah, Crab Leg Capital. Different map, very, as you said, long range, good for these elite, these long range snipers. That is good for Lazarus. Casablanca have been more reliant on the heavy-headed splatling. So, which means we'll see if Casablanca are able to really go around. Like, the whole question of this game will be, can they cut the distance onto Devin 4K and get in to paint the zone?
Can they cut the distance on everyone on this team, really? Stamper has obscene range as well. It can do an excellent job at poking people out. Great zoning material. Slosher, also one of the longer range options that's in meta right now. It's not long range, but it's mid range. It outranges a lot of the short range shooters. Yeah. And we've seen Asta just do a fantastic job. The only thing that's really short range that can be directly fought on the side of Lazarus is Punchy on that zap, and with the mobility, that can also be tough.
Yes, and it's now pretty much the same weapons on the side of Lazarus, but Casablanca bringing a pencil to counter the leader on this map. That's a very, very good choice. They'll have a lot of paint and a lot of range thanks to that, but Lazarus able to take control of the game early. Can they hold the zone though? Casablanca answers immediately.
They're able to get that reflip of the zone. Punchy just trying to cause problems on that bottom left. Also provide a little bit of support by being there for the rest of the team, but not quite able to find anything just yet. Orboy also just sneaks in behind Punchy, finds that big trade. Punchy ends up dropping to the pencil, and now Casablanca, they have great control here. Devin's going to have to pop that crack and look for just a couple of picks, but one of the teammates goes down, make that 2. Now we're in a bit of a tough spot if you are Lazarus here. Devin has to jump out pretty quickly, but gets picked off immediately by the blaster. Auraboy's looking for another one onto Punchy, and they're just feeding him like fish. That's 4 for the blaster, and now Casablanca have been put in this lovely position. 25 points left. Lazarus can hardly get onto the zone, and now, Pat, they're at 15 points.
And they're not stopping, seeing Punchy able to drop to get onto the zone, and they're able to paint, to contest the paint. They have a numbers advantage. They're staying alive, but what an opening push by Casablanca for now forcing Lazarus to play for the KO, and the KO only. Lazarus right now are in trouble, as all of Casablanca is already back in there, forcing another special just to contest the zone.
This is quite tough for Casablanca now. It looked fantastic, but now it's completely turned around. Devin has that Kraken as well if anybody gets on top of him. But, that's really being brought into question here. The blaster, they're really the only thing able to pressure at long range. That leader gets picked off immediately. Devin ends up popping that Kraken just to stay alive from the rest of the Casablanca just rushing the zone. But, again, Lazarus, they have the control. The Zuka's not finding any picks except for onto Devin. There's 2 players down, actually. I stand corrected. Make that a 3rd. It's just Punchy left in this bottom right, and Yoshi's able to clean that one up right quick. All the frags going Casablanca's way now, and, they're already contesting in front of the zone. They've set up a little bit of a bubble. The pencil is down, though, and there's a lot of your zone contesting capabilities gone, especially in the face of these strikes.
Yeah, and that's a Lazarus taking back control of the zone. Penalty was applied, but with 2 players down, Lazarus is again in position to hold, and I believe they get pretty much the same hold that they already got. They're in position to take the lead, and they're already done with their penalties, eh?
Yep, penalty is gone. They're getting a couple of picks. Actually, Casablanca's getting a couple of picks. Make that 2. The zone gets flipped completely. However, the bucket does have the strikes, able to try and contest, but Auraboy able to get 2 massive directs here, clean up, just kind of really put Casablanca on their back right now, getting so many picks. The splashdown also makes so much room for Casablanca here in this bottom left, and now they really don't need to worry. The only thing to be concerned about is Devin on that leader. Gonna find one, looking for that crab snipe, the little headshot there. patient with the shot, but not able to find anything just yet. The cooler comes through. You're going to need to rush this really, really quickly, almost right now if you're on the side of Lazarus. And the Kraken isn't able to find anything just yet. It's 10 points left. The strikes, can you find anything? No, nobody's able to contest with it. The zone is neutralized, but not for very long. In Casablanca, they have taken this train to the bank. They are 2-0 up in Grands. They're hunting for that reset, Pat.
Sig, that last Kraken got hang on the uninkable block, and because of that it didn't get the splat that would have allowed Lazarus to get back onto the zone to paint it again. Casablanca, I mean, right now they look so strong. It's a 2-0 and it's a dominant 2-0 by them.
Yeah, incredibly strong work, really, especially on that game too. Just really keeping Lazarus kind of humble, kind of honest here, not letting them establish themselves almost at all. Those beacons were not set up once, I don't think, on this game. Now, granted, it can be a little bit harder for a leader to do it on this map, just with it being so wide open, but at the same time, you know, not letting them do that, not giving them that free real estate to keep their momentum going, is really, really good. They've put in a lot of work here, and they're ready. They are hungry here, Pat. They want this win. They want to get that run back, especially Oraboy on that blaster. Oh my goodness, so many good plays.
So many good plays indeed. Casablanca winning the fights they needed to win, and really denying Lazarus's ability to take control, to hold their ground. Lazarus had a good hold once, but Casablanca had several, and they were bigger and they were stronger. And they really worked for them, which means Casablanca is up 2-0. They are one game away from resetting our bracket.
They are. And I believe we are going to... I'm curious to see what this third map is. We know it's not zones. We know it's not tower control. Are we going over to Rainmaker? Yeah, we are. We're back to Undertow Spillway. Something that we saw Casablanca struggle with just a little bit in the last series, I believe. But it was a tight game. It was tough.
Yeah, lots of fights incoming. Lots to go. We'll see how these two teams can do right there. Lazarus know that if they want to keep this set going, they need to win this game.
Oh yeah, and they're trying, you know, they want to kind of avoid that bracket reset as fast as possible, you know, prevent, kind of shut down the momentum for Casablanca right here, right now. Oraboy already trying to keep it going right now, finding one, looking for that second one. Silver, though, able to find one, looking for a little bit more. For Devin 4K getting Exnor now, and almost the second one too. This leader just has so much presence here, especially when you can line up those shots like that. Really just makes life so difficult for Casablanca, and Lazarus are taking it to the bank right now.
Yeah, more and more fight. Very nice opening by Lazarus, getting the checkpoint right away, looking to get the repop, but it's not going to work. They're forced to jump away as Casablanca are taking back control of their side of the map and grabbing that Rainmaker.
There's that Rainmaker for Casablanca, and there's the Zukin splashdown combo. They got 2 picks already. Punchy's the only one standing in the way of the check break for Casablanca here. They're going to go down just trying to find that shark. Oh, but Asta's able to clean up that Rainmaker, immediately just jumping onto into the fire for Lazarus here. Kind of able to shut down as well. You know, Casablanca's not really able to get that pick or get that pop because Exnor was a little bit further back, and now Lazarus, they fully turned things around. They're 2 points ahead with a check in between that. And they have Rainmaker. Devin is running for points now, I guess.
And it's working.
Yep.
Devin got to 37. That's a nice little lead extension for Lazarus, as Casablanca hasn't broken past the first checkpoint, and now they know that going to the right wouldn't allow them to get the lead, so they have to go left.
Yeah, Exnor just running over to that left side. Oh, Asta was close, but so is Punchy, and Punchy finds that pick. You still don't have that checkpoint. That is the #1 thing, but Oraboy makes so much room, finds the second pick as well. The strikes are coming through to neutralize that pop, but Casablanca still have some very solid positioning, and they've kind of forced Devin into an awkward position. Going to have to pick up that Rainmaker and reset it, just for the rest of Lazarus to kind of stabilize for this defense now. But Aka has a grab tank.
Yeah, it is not over. Lazarus setting themselves in defensive position. The Crab Tank is punished. The Rainmaker is punished. Everybody is punished by Lazarus right now, reminding us that, yeah, they're down 2 games, but they beat Casablanca before, and they're looking to do it again. The Zuka is stopping things, but right now Casablanca needs more than trades. They need to get in as the Rainmaker gets reset and back to mid.
And they've got a lot of space to work with. They just need the picks to go along with it. Namely, just finding Devin, picking Devin up is going to be big. They're actually opting for that right-handed check rush. And Aka is going to just run and grab that really quickly while nobody's looking. Punchy's able to get that shutdown, pop the cooler, and find 2 players with the rest of Lazarus. Make that a full wipe. Really, how worth it was that checkpoint? Was that really worth sacrificing the wipeout, giving Lazarus a possibly even larger lead than 37? And these strikes are just going to kind of expound on that and accept.
Okay.
I guess all 4 of them died?
That works. That works. I guess it was worth. They get a wipeout and it's their turn to push again.
Okay. We're running it back. Aka has the Crab Tank in the same position yet again, trying to clear that left side that we've seen Punchy just kind of cause so many issues from. But the Zipcaster from Silver comes through. Same thing with that Kraken. And now it's just Yoshi trying to stabilize for the rest of the team. 50 seconds left. You need to find that pick. You need to get a massive turnaround here. And Yoshi's just not able. Crumbles underneath that pressure. Lazarus is moving this Rainmaker as far away from the easy lead as possible for Casablanca. And they're trying to extend it. They're looking to just hold on to this Rainmaker in that bottom left for the rest of the game. And it's working out pretty well so far for them.
Yeah, they're paying attention, making sure nobody can get to that Rainmaker. Devin 4K getting the jumps in, but losing the Rainmaker with 20 seconds left in the game. That's one final push attempt for Casablanca. And they don't need that many points, but they need to get in.
They really need to get in right now. Oh wait, they don't clear Asta on that left side. Oh no, they do. Okay, there's 2 players down on the side of Lazarus. That could have been a very, very tough flank, a very quick end, but that's gonna be it right there actually from Punchy on the left side doing this exact same thing, and Lazarus are now on the board, Pat.
Yeah, 1 point for Lazarus. You can never count Lazarus out. They are always playing, they're always fighting, and they got this game. They had the checkpoint first, they pushed further, and right there, it's really Casablanca kind of hesitating a little bit. I feel like feeling the pressure of the finals, maybe.
Yeah, the lights may be getting a little bit bright for them. You know, getting that run back, getting that reset. It is a fantastic feeling in the world, but there's a lot of pressure associated with it. Being up 2-0, being told, being forced to kind of close out. You have a few games to do so, but you really want to just silence everyone. You really want to set the tone the entire way through. You don't want to give a single map. And Casablanca, they were close. They had some opportunities here, but kind of stalled out no matter what happened. Whenever they got to that checkpoint, it really was the boogeyman for them.
Yeah. Very rough game for them. Now we're going to our 4th mode of this grand finals. It's of course Clan Blitz on Barnacle and Dime. We go back to a very wide open map, Sig, which means we can expect chargers and crab tanks.
We will most definitely be seeing a couple of those. Crab Tank will be a mainstay of that Casablanca comp. Aka being a dually player, fantastic at the weapon, fantastic at the special, but now we're gonna really see them tested. Lazarus has basically the perfect comp for this. For making lives miserable on this stage specifically. Leader, Zap can just run around wherever. Stamper can do what it wants. Zipcaster, while not being the most potent special in the world, really gives a whole like extra layer of depth, and then Slosher just kind of sets everything up with strikes. It's a tough fight, but if anyone can do it, Casablanca has proven it the past couple games. Let's see if they can close here.
Yeah, and we see pretty much the same comp on the side of Lazarus. Casablanca bring back the heavy edit. They want that mobility, and for Clam Blitz, where you want to move as fast as you can, having a curling bomb can allow you to maintain your clam economy a bit better, but you have to pay attention to the range on your opponent. And right now, the Editor is down, which means Casablanca are cleaning up left and right.
Yeah, the leader goes down, and the rest of the team crumbles along after it. Devin just jumps back and able to grab that tactical, but not much more. The strikes coming through for defense, not quite finding picks, but there's gonna section off that blaster. One goes down. Exnor is gonna have to back out here. Austin's just trying to find fights, able to do so and force so much of Casablanca back. That looks so difficult. Basically a full wipeout for Lazarus, but they were able to hold strong, stabilize just a bit, and they've come back at least knocking on mid again.
Yeah, no point scored, but Casablanca has the Super Clam trying to hold them, but waiting a little bit too much before moving away. One Clam will survive, and now it's on Lazarus to take control of the map. They don't have a Super Clam yet, but they can make one, and now it's time to open that basket and make some points.
There's the power clam coming through. Asta has the mini clams, but they're gonna need to find this fight with Orboy. Does so, now has the opportunity, but they're the only player left. This is gonna be tough. They get those clams in, but not anything else. Nobody really able to capitalize much more than 68 points. Very low scoring so far. We're about 2 minutes into the game, and with 3 left, Casablanca, we've seen them be incredibly explosive on this mode. And it just looks like it's not in the cards just yet. Yoshi's gonna have to jump out with that cooler and the clam.
Yeah,
but
very
Lazarus
nice.
shut down everything.
That's a nice jump out. That's a clam that is saved, and now that's a crab tank to defend. Casablanca able to hold Lazarus at bay. Can they take back the control though?
It looks like they have some of it. There's a pick going in their favor. The Zuka coming through, putting pressure on Devin, but Aka ends up dropping here. Zuka doesn't find anything much else. We're still in a 3v3, but that's going to neutralize a little until Devin comes through with the pick onto Oraboy, and here we go. That's still going to be more picks in favor of Lazarus. Aka drops down into the pit, has the support from the heavy edit, but not quite going to get anything else from the rest of the team. Still sharking down there, just trying to find something. Now Yoshi's jumped down to kind of try and help, but not going to be able to just yet. Forced to jump out. Exnor's the only kind of line of defense here. Just them and the clam economy. Oh, Devin, what a flick! Oh my goodness.
That was a crazy flick of the Elite. Casablanca still trying to we see both teams still fighting in a neutral, trying to take control over the map and trading left and right. It's 2 down on each side. The backlines looking at each other. Devin getting splatted by Bazooka, and that's an opportunity for Casablanca to attack, push forward.
They're playing this a little bit slower, I don't blame them. Asta's right here. The splashdown comes through. So much chip damage from that bucket, but not able to find anything just yet. Aka is now moving forwards, trying to find silver, but not quite able to. And with another pick from what I could only assume to be a leader, Casablanca have come back. They're back in mid, and with the picks that they have now, there's 3 down actually. It's just Devin left. Devin able to shut down that power clam, looking for a little bit more. Aka's able to get that picked up, stay alive just to toss it in. The barrier is broken, but with a minute left and no jumps in, Lazarus, you basically gifted them a free pity power.
Yeah, but Casablanca still have a pity of their own. They're instantly going to grab it because they know they have less than a minute to get a push going. Now Lazarus in pushing position with a Super Clam, preparing their specials, and but losing 2 players. Punchy is going to put the Tacticooler back as Casablanca is coming back into mid, ready to fight the last neutral of this game.
Oh, and it's all down to the mid lines. Exnor versus Silver. Silver's able to hold strong for just a little bit more. Casablanca's looking to just reset, maybe play that 4-on-4 just a touch more. Maybe they didn't see an opportunity with that. They probably didn't, but now they're a player down. They're put in such a difficult spot, and with Devin finding another window, getting another pick, this leader has their fingerprints all over the game, and Casablanca really cannot move. They can hardly even pick up the power clam that's on their plat.
Pretty rough for Casablanca, but Julie is getting the splats on Velita is huge right now, but that super clam is splatted and defended by Punchy. That's game number 4 by Lazarus, which means, Sig, that we are going to a tiebreaker.
I feel like Casablanca just enjoy playing game 5s at this point. They have, I think, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
All 3 of their past 3 sets have been 5-game series. And they have been absolute bangers no matter what way you slice it. And this is no different. Now the question is, can they fend off the reverse sweep against this top seed Lazarus?
Hey.
Like the Lazarus pit, they have really come back from the dead here to kind of answer back and really bring Casablanca to the brink.
If Casablanca wins this one, they get a shot at a bracket recess and maybe a 4th game 5. If Lazarus wins this next game, they say no. They say this is over, only we get to resurrect. The game is over for you. So much on the line, and it's going to be Tower Control, and it's going to be Inkblot Art Academy.
Oh, what a game to end off on. What a map mode. This is the quintessential Splatoon 3 map. If you have not played this map at least 10 times in competitive play, I question if you play competitive Splatoon, because we have seen this for years. I'm feeling old. It's almost been a decade since this map has been introduced to competitive play. It came out in 2017 with Splatoon 2, and we're still here in 2025 playing the daylights out of it.
Hey, it's a good map. It's a well-balanced map where so many different weapons can work. One thing to note, go top left. Attack top left.
Yes.
You need to be there to get the second checkpoint. That's it. That's the map.
It is. If you can take that little area in the top left, whether you call it snipe or bats or whatever it is, up where that ink rail leads to, you're setting yourself up for success. You have so much space between the other team and the tower. In that sense, you have a great setup to take that second checkpoint. And then, it's just a question of, can you hold that space for the third one as well? How can you kind of capitalize off that? We have no changes going into game 5 here. Everyone's rocking the same stuff. Devin on that leader again. Absolute difference maker, but no respawn Punisher. Instead, running that special charge up.
It's not about the weapons, it's about the players right now. Already 2 down onto Casablanca, and the Julie is going back to spawn as well. It looks like Lazarus are taking control. A bit of lag on Devin, I've noticed. And right now it looks like Lazarus are at the checkpoint, but Zipcaster is taking a lot of aggro. That's only the first checkpoint, but hey, that's something.
Yep, and Lazarus almost fully take it. Have a couple of picks to their name as well. Aka's just trying to rush in, look for an equalizer, but no, not quite. The Zipcaster gets popped from Silver as well. And Lazarus, they are 4 tall on this first checkpoint. Already not even a minute past, and they're looking to break it immediately. The strikes are coming through as well to possibly get Silver in, but Aka's just there to try and hold a little bit more space for the rest of Casablanca. It's not looking great, though, as so many picks happen at once, and our Aura Boy's really the only one able to directly contest tower here, Pat.
I mean, the Kraken is going to allow Lazarus to pierce through, get the second checkpoint, and this fight is still going for the top. The Bucket is winning that fight, getting 1, getting 2, but finally punished. That was a huge attack by Lazarus. Casablanca able to save what they could save, but they didn't save the checkpoint, Sig.
No, that checkpoint is as good as gone. If Lazarus have another push set up, they can really do some damage here, taking a lot of points off the board, but they need to have the man advantage. They need to have the space to begin with, and that is something that Casablanca has in spades. However, Silver looks for one, looks for two, gets both before getting traded out by Auraboy, and now Auraboy and Yoshi are in this bottom right. They're trying to just find something. They've gotten a couple of stabilizing picks, but so has Devin. Devin has snowballed this team along with the space that everyone else on Lazarus has created, but they're opting for another push here with these tri-strikes.
Oh, and 2 down onto Lazarus. No more pushing for you. It looks like Casablanca are getting back in there, but they still have to defend to the side because Lazarus, even when they're behind, they're attacking, they're pushing in, and they're getting the splat signal.
They're just not stopping. This is non-stop aggression, whether it's thanks to the tactical or thanks to the quick respawn the front line is running or anything. They are just constantly getting up and running at you every single time. Punchy and Asta are just trying to fight 3, and it's working out beautifully so far. Punchy's rushing forwards with the Kraken. It's just Yoshi left. Yoshi's able to find that pick onto the Tower Rider. Silver's there to clean up, and Yoshi turns around for it. Clutches up right before Lazarus hit that 3rd checkpoint, and they have been given a lifeline here. Punchy, though, finds an exit frag. That makes life that much more difficult for Casablanca. But they have been given an opportunity. They have been given a chance, especially with that Zuka shot reaching around the corner. A wipeout for Casablanca, and they're finally able to get on that tower.
Not a second to waste for Casablanca. Lazarus already defending their top left as Casablanca are onto that first checkpoint with a crab tank. They should be able to break it, but now they can't push much further. A minute and something left in the game. Sig Lazarus able to hold a 1 checkpoint advantage. Casablanca still in that push, still trying to get in, but they need to make the space. The Blaster is going in. The Blaster is getting 1. The Blaster is punished, but it's 2 down onto Lazarus. Casablanca are still on the attack.
Yeah, and they've only got 15 points separating them from the lead here from a reset. This is entirely possible as Zuka comes through. Asta looks for the picks. It's 30 on 30. And oh my god, Lazarus just hold them off just for a little bit longer. It's Akka left. Akka has the lead. Oh my god, by 1. Are you serious? Silver finds Auraboy. But now Lazarus have to go all the way back around the map. Silver is setting up, but Lazarus, can you do it? Do you have the time? Are you able to set up for long enough? Maintain that space? The answer so far is proving to be no. Akka finds Silver on that left-hand side. It is a battle of inches, of centimeters, of millimeters, Pat.
It's incredible, but it's not over. It was almost a 3 down onto Casablanca, and now Lazarus get to push again. We have an overtime. It's 3 down again. Only the Slatlings holding here. The down as well. That's a delayed wipe. The Kraken and the Zikasa are on the tower. The Kraken is pushed away. Can they hold? Oh, what is this game?
No way. Oh, Akka just barely rushes into time, knocks that Kraken off. Oh, and absolutely wills Casablanca to a reset. Oh, it doesn't get much closer than that. Oh my. My heart, dude.
A battle of sheer willpower right there. Casablanca win the game 5, tie up the score against Lazarus, and get the bracket reset.
There's no way. That was just, oh, you can't write that any better. Wow, great work, Casablanca. Again, defining word has been clutch for this team. It's game 5s. It's tower control overtime. It's overtime in general for this squad. They have just been cool as a cucumber in getting these. You know, Lazarus gets down to 30. Yeah, we'll just go to 29. You know, no big deal. We'll shut them down immediately. And when they get to 29, you know, like perfectly fine. But they have just not relented through everything they have faced.
Incredible comeback, incredible play by both teams. And they are so evenly matched, answering everything from each other. But in the end, only one team can win this Paddling Pool 313. They have 5 games left to go, 5 games to decide who is going to be your champion.
Yep, we've got 5 to go, and if these past just 15 games between that we've seen these teams play, between winners finals, losers finals, and now grands of set 1 of 2, you already know this is gonna be cinema.
What?
Well, what are these maps? Hold on. No. We have to backtrack real quick. Who picked this? I need to know like exactly the player who picked this.
Casablanca picked this.
No way.
Yes.
This is one of the most unserious maps I have seen.
And this is the map where the guy with 4K in his name goes with a shot.
This is the most diabolical counterpick of all time, but it's not working in Casablanca's favor. They're already 3 down.
They were ready.
They saw it coming, and now Lazarus already have a first check. 30 seconds haven't even gone by. The Zuka comes through from Devin, and whether it's a leader, whether it's a Zuka, it doesn't matter what you give this guy. He's lethal with absolutely everything. All the specials come through for Lazarus, but they don't have the Rainmaker. Akka makes a mad dash for it, picks it up, and stalls out the push for just long enough, but the picks are still going in Lazarus' favor.
Yeah, Lazarus still able to hold themselves onto the mat, and that's because Devin 4K with the shot was able to stand behind everybody and get a few splats that allowed the rest of Lazarus to get back in the attack. 51 isn't that bad for the opening that Lazarus got for Casablanca. Casablanca, they still have lots of opportunities to get back in there.
Yep, but they're going to have to survive this Trizuka. Doesn't quite find any picks with either of the 2 shots. That duration nerf definitely hurting a little bit, but the chip damage coming through going to force a lot of people out for Casablanca. They have an opportunity here. They're just looking for the picks to do so. Silver is on the crab stamper as well. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that crab can defend pretty well, has a lot of range. I guess that's the backline for the team right now. As Casablanca is waiting for the crab to be over and 3 players being down to rush for the checkpoint. That's a wipeout right before the checkpoint. That could be a lead swap right away, Sig.
Yeah, they get that quick pump. The hammer comes through, not going to get any picks, but creates a ton of space. Xnor picks up that Rainmaker, immediately finds that lead. Asta is kind of just struggling on this bottom left. The Rainmaker goes down at 40 points left. Akka has that crab tank. Yoshi is still alive and kicking as well. And Casablanca, they have a little bit of opportunity here. They've taken it, and now we're starting to see the counterpick come to fruition just a touch.
Ooh. Yeah, lots of picks, lots of things happening on each side. Punchy with that Rainmaker is pushing everybody away, pushing the Rainmaker back into mid as all of Casablanca is on top, trying to dodge the shots, but there's a lot of players falling on each side. Bazooka is going to seal the deal as Casablanca is getting the top of the map back.
Casablanca have that top mid. This is exactly what you really want to avoid on Flounder Heights. If you don't have that top mid control, it can be an absolute nightmare just trying to retake it through specials, through the height advantage or disadvantage, everything. It really just is so tough to come back on this map. And we're seeing it at first hand because Lazarus really have not been able to get past mid for the past couple minutes, and Casablanca have taken full advantage. They're down to 32 points. Devin, though, is able to clean up, find a couple of picks. Again, this shot has been very, very good so far, and finding Akka just that cleanup, excellent work. But now Lazarus have about 20 some odd points to make up, and they're not an easy 20 some points.
Not easy, but there's no longer a checkpoint needed, which means any push could go incredibly fast. Provided Lazarus can win the next fight, they get 2 down already. They're able to push forward, and with a crab tank, They should get in. Bazooka is not going to find its target right now. Last minute of the game as Lazarus still holding that Rainmaker, waiting for a way in. The Luna getting splatted. That is huge. And Devin getting a trade in. That's Lazarus still trying to run forward.
Oh, and they're close. They got a couple of extra points. The strikes are coming through for the quick pop. Finding a couple of pictures. 3 down. Wait a minute. Aka and Exor actually staying alive for the rest of the team through that pop. Through everything. Casablanca holds strong in this defense. Lazarus need to get onto this Rainmaker right now. I don't think it's going to reset in time. If so, you have a couple of seconds. There it is. The Zuka comes through from Devin. Finds it. Wins the duel with Yoshi. But now you have 2 players in a bit of a corner here. And Asta has to do it all. Not able to just yet. And it's all up to the Stamper. They have to pick up this Rainmaker right now. There it is. No Crab Tank on deck. You're going to need to make use of whatever you have here, whether that be the strikes, the Slosher, or the Zuka from the shot. You really just need to sink your chances. And with that Tri-Zuka on the side of Casablanca, this could be over at any second.
Yeah, very, very rough right there. Lazarus holding with all that they have, activating the Tacticular for more speed, but they are attacked by all fronts. Oh wait, 2 down onto Casablanca, and the Crab Tank is almost splatted, but a lot more patience on the side of Lazarus. 20 seconds left on that Rainmaker. They're gonna need to get in. The Luna is punishing. That's game number 1 for Casablanca.
Fantastic hold. Really solid stuff. It looked dodgy there at the beginning for Casablanca, but able to close out, hold strong on the last couple of defenses, really not let Lazarus get back in the mid. Excellent work. Played that fantastically. And now we're going into zones on another pretty interesting map, if I do recall.
Yep.
I'm curious as to what it is, but now they're going to have to win a game against that leader
Brian
again.
Water Spring. Brian Water Spring, aka the reverse Flounder Heights.
It's the opposite in literally every way.
Yeah.
You got the slopes, no paintable walls. You know, you go from top to bottom pretty quick.
Yeah, and instead of grabbing the Rainmaker and going forward, you have to paint the zone.
Yep. That is quite the switch up. The question is, are we going to see a switch up in the game as well? Obviously, we're seeing that leader come back from Lazarus.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin is known for
doubt.
that. Not for the shot.
That leader is 100% coming back.
Although I will say the shot was pretty clutch in a couple of those plays. Got a quad. But, come on, we all know it's Devin. It's a leader. We know what's happening here.
Know what he wants to play. Okay, so other than that, I mean, that first game was on Casablanca's pick. Now we're going to Lazarus, and I guess that's pretty obvious to everyone why.
Yep. My number one question here: are we going to be seeing the swap from Exnor to another pencil? Because we saw it in one of the games and it worked out pretty darn well. Actually, we're switching to Vanilla Leader, and there's Exnor on that pencil. Just opting for the range, can cap that zone almost instantly by shooting a full mag at it. Very, very strong pick here.
Yeah, very strong pick by both teams. Not much surprise in terms of composition. Both teams know exactly what to expect. They've been playing each other for 11 games already. This is their 12th. And now facing once again the early zone for Casablanca, but still the answer. Oh wait, Lazarus lost 3 players as they took the zone, and Bucket not with the bucket this time, but able to maintain a lot of aggro so that Lazarus can respawn.
There's the Zip Cash to come through. finding the pick onto Exnor. There's your pen going. A lot of that long-range pressure. Punchy now can be uncontested on this ledge, dropping over to just have more presence here. Orboy, though, with that splashdown, is going to find that pick, hold on to that zone for just a little bit longer with the rest of the team able to paint over while Orboy is keeping that pressure. Lazarus are in a bit of a dicey spot here. You know, leader's not the greatest at retaking unless you have some unanswered picks abusing that range, and there's one, but onto the pencil, so maybe we could see something. There's 2 down now. Punchy's looking for that bottom right control, and with Aka going dropping now too, Lazarus just have full control of the zone, and Devin has full dominion.
Yeah, I just noticed that Punchy has swapped to the splash, letting the teammate grab the zap. That's a lot of paint for Lazarus, but that's also maybe a bit less fighting power. We'll see how they're able to do right now. They're establishing the paint control, but they take a Zuka to the face as the Zipcaster is forcing everybody to look back. Lazarus still in control of the zone. Can they hold long enough to get the lead? Right now it looks pretty dire. Wait, it's 2 versus 2. Devin still onto the zone, painting to get the lead as everybody's respawning, and Punchy activating the grab tank right there. That is huge. Casablanca need to grab the zone right now. They lost 2 players, 3 players, and Lazarus is looking to get the KO.
Yeah, that crab tank was absolute genius from Punchy, just in an off angle, able to contest, but it might not matter. 2 players end up dropping, actually. They were trying to contest the zone just at the dying seconds, but Casablanca not able to get it. Lazarus closing out a game 2. Fantastic hold from them. Expert work, and what a counter pick.
After that moment where they didn't manage to grab the zone, Casablanca kind of panicked there, which you're not used to see at that level. They really staggered, went in one by one, all desperately trying to paint that zone, but Lazarus had the hole with the 2 heavy paint shooter. They were really able to keep themselves here, which means, Sig, without much surprise, these 2 teams are tied up in the score again.
We've seen this a couple times before now. Just once or twice though.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going over, evening things up. We're going over to normal maps now. Thankfully, bless our hearts. We have tower control on Shipshape Cargo Company. Wait, yeah, that's the one.
Yes. But is indeed the one. The team that wins this one will be given a match point, a tournament point. So that's a big one to start gate number 3. I mean, both of these teams have shown so much resilience, have adapted to what the other team was doing, to a wide variety of maps and modes. And now going on to Ship-Shape Cargo on Tower, it's going to be a different dynamic, different weapons, and more incoming. Punchy sticking to the splash. We keep the comp that just work, except we're back to the Kraken. Not much of a surprise given the map mode. On the other side, Casablanca sticking to their guns.
Yeah, Casablanca's going to keep with what got them here in the first place, that blaster dually shot and the heavy edit to round things out with that tacticooler. And we're running back to game 2 for Lazarus here. The custom leader's the only difference, and it's working out well so far for them. A lot of space already. Punchy with that crab, going to go down actually, but the rest of the team is able to capitalize 2-on-3 in favor of Lazarus, make that a 1-on-3. And now Oraboy is just kind of stuck in no man's land against 2 other players of Lazarus. Asta on this zap has just been moving everywhere, trying to get as much paint on the ground as possible for that tacticooler, and that really is just setting the pace for the team.
The Elita not able to find the headshot on the crab, but still able to bring the tower to the second checkpoint. Gets pushed in the water!
No way!
That's what happens to your quote-unquote invincibility.
I don't know. They seem pretty invincible to me right now, Pat, But that's not stopping Lazarus yet. There's already on that second checkpoint. Devin has opted to go, instead of risking life on the tower, has found the pick safely on the Aka. and is really shutting down so much of the map here. Usually you see the backline playing on this position, but Lazarus has gotten the second check because of it, and now they're looking for even more with a wipeout. They might just KO this, Pat, and they do so with a second one to close things out on this map.
What a game, Lazarus. They took a pause so that Devin could take a bath. Other than that, it was non-stop pushing.
Well, after some of the flicks we saw Devin hit earlier in this set, you know, bro is dirty. We might need another bath for him, but fully earned. Lazarus just steamrolled Casablanca here. Oh my days. Like you said, basically non-stop outside of, you know, one little hiccup. And oh my goodness.
And it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
No.
Lazarus was still pushing forward, getting back the jumps. They had the beacons, they had the tacticooler, so they kept pushing, and it works. And now Lazarus, once again, are one game away from winning the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been in this position once before. Now they have 2 opportunities to close out. Maybe they just need the extra game. But we're going to be going back to... Oh, and this is actually perfect for Lazarus. They're going to Clan Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime, which they just won on, Pat.
Yeah.
This will wrap things up pretty nice for them if they do, if they close it out successfully. But, you know, we've seen Casablanca, absolutely tenacious team. They've already fought through 3 Game 5s. They're trying to make it a 4th and end up winning it, making, you know, bringing their win total up to, oh my days, a lot.
a lot. But as you said, Lazarus beat Casablanca on this map mode. And it's fresh in Casablanca's memory. Now Casablanca, they know the plan. They know what to do to counter it. Can they counter it? Can they stop what Lazarus is cooking? Find a way to stop them. I mean, at this level, just a few adjustments, just one change in position, one extra move is going to change the game, is going to allow a team to get the victory. And let's see who does it better.
We're running back everything the same. We're running back basically a mirror image of the past game. I'm so excited to see what happens. This opening, this rollout is going to mean a lot for both teams. That cooler going to need to be up pretty fast because we know how fast teams like to fight. We already see Aka on that top left. Going to go down, actually not finding a pick for Casablanca. Quite the contrary. Now the rest of the team is kind of stuck on the back foot. They're going to have to back up. Punchy with that crab tank. Finds so much space, and another pick for Lazarus. Devin already has a power clam, and with 30 seconds, they've already broken the barrier.
Lazarus riding the momentum right there, making another super clam, but they're far from the basket. I think the basket is going to close. Actually, yeah, but 2 down onto Casablanca. The basket closes, but the push is not open. Lazarus still in that position of maintaining that pressure. Casablanca struggling to get out of their spawn.
Oh, this is... They really can't move. This is tough. The crab tank from Punchy as well. Finding Exnor. Just trying to toss that tactical down for Aka to take advantage of. But what advantage can you take of it if you're getting 2 power clams dunked on your basket here? Not really able to capitalize. Oraboy, though, coming through with the defense. There's a 3rd power clam for Lazarus. They're down to 21, Pat. They're down to 21.
How just go so fast, and Punchy's still around there, forcing all of Casablanca to look behind, to pay attention. Lazarus just took so many points, and Casablanca, for the first time in the game, are in the middle of the map.
Yeah, they're finally able to set themselves back up here. Maybe find a pick onto Devin. That's exactly what they're looking for, extending it onto Silver. Now it's just the 2 short-range shooters left for Lazarus to maybe hold down the fort just a little bit, but not quite able to. No specials on deck. Only close to the crab tank. I believe the cooler just got popped, but it's not going to mean anything just yet as 3 members rush that top left. Aka's just trying to hold as much space as possible with this crab tank before dunking the power clam, but Devin's there to pick it off immediately. And Casablanca, they have a couple of points on the board now, but not much more after that, and they're getting forced out of mid pretty quick here, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, Lazarus is back into mid-back in aggro position with the super jumps in. And it's still, we're back to a fight for mid. 2 down onto Casablanca. It's so rough for them. Lazarus is going to push forward again.
Oh, there's the pick. That's what they need to push forwards. Are they going to take advantage? It looks like they have 3 specials to do so. The cooler gets popped, and that's the go button that they needed. Punchy just trying to back up the rest of the team, but 2 players are down. Lazarus only really have the Kraken as a front line, and Devin is in a lot of trouble. So is Punchy, but Punchy turns it right back around. Akka tries to find some follow-up shots on the Punchy, maybe hurt the economy of Lazarus just that much more, but can't find anything. Not even with the spray transfer onto Silver are they able to get much. And now Lazarus, they have just, again, been in full control. I don't know what it is with this team, but on Barnacle and Dime, they are just untouchable.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over. We have 1.5 minutes left in the game. Devin is a frontliner now. I mean, that's what Splattershot does to someone. And he's right now. Lazarus is forced out. Casablanca still breathing a little bit. They have a super climb, and now they have a crab tank to push forward.
Well, this is the opportunity they were looking for. 2 players now, make that a third. It's just Punchy left. They have the power climb. They're close to a crab tank to maybe hold strong here. Immediately going to look to pop it, but the Zuka is ready. Maybe they can use it to answer that crab tank. 2 players are down. This push is going to be tough for Casablanca. It's as good as gone. You have a minute left. You have the jumps coming through, but you have no space to work with. You have no manpower. The splashdown can't even find anything. Akka does, though, and maybe looking for another one onto Devin is what you need here. You're just trying to extend the play, just trying to keep your team alive at this point, but you need to close out 50 points on a push, and your power climb carrier is dead, Pat.
That's the second time Casablanca lost a super climber right under the basket, and right now Lazarus with a 40 points lead are very much happy with the situation. 30 seconds left in the game. They're in there. They're activating the Kraken to just maintain more chaos. They want to push it. They want to make a statement right here.
Oh, and a statement they're looking to make as Punchy finds another with that crab tank. There's another power climb getting scored, getting dunked in, and Lazarus, they're even looking to KO this, Pat. The Zipcaster's ready. There's no clams, though. Maybe they just trying to hold this end OT as fast as possible. Asta's there with the extra couple of clams. The power clam just whiffs. Wait a minute. No one even given them an opportunity. They have 2 power clams now. Wait a minute, Pat. This is exactly what Casablanca need. They have 3 and so much space. Akka almost has a crab tank. Hold on, this could be exactly what they need. The Zuka finds a pick, but they need to score. They don't have time.
They need to win. They went too slow. They went too slow. 3 power clams, and nobody gets to the basket in time. Oh. What a game. What a set.
And with that, Lazarus, hang on. It looked dicey for them there for a second. It looked like we were going to go to a game 5, but Lazarus maintained. They hold on to the advantage. They hold on to their spawn. And they are your Paddling Pool 313 champions.
Yeah, I mean, the speed that they showed us in this bracket reset, going faster, going more aggro, and that swap from Punchy to the Splash-O-Matic. We all know how dangerous Punchy is with its splash. That was really the move that gave Lazarus the extra speed, the extra power. And yeah, I mean, Lazarus 3-1. Casablanca, incredible team. We want to see you, more of you. We want to see you again. But in the end, it's Lazarus getting that victory, that incredible overtime. Yeah, I mean, incredible.
Fantastic work from Lazarus. Able to close out when they really needed it. They are 2-0 on that map now, and they're so good. Especially on Barnacle in Time, but only dropping 1 set as well, and it was a tight set at that. Fantastic work. But that will do it from us here at Dapple. But before we go, Pat, it has been fantastic casting with you today. Where can the lovely people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at PatJLTom. It's written on your screen right now. And Sig, where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me at Sigdakari, basically anywhere on the internet, anywhere on the internet, whether it's Blue Sky, Twitch, Discord, any of that stuff, at Sigdakari, as you see at the bottom of your screen. With that being said, fantastic tournament, incredible grand finals.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Dapple for putting on this tourney and Jorian for running the stream behind it.
Yeah.
And we will see y'all the next time.
Wait. Before we leave. This Friday, in 2 days, is Triton Cup 100, the golden of all golden Triton Cups. We'll be raising money for Les Restos du Cœur, a French charity that provides meals for people. We'll have a stream in French thanks to our very good friends at EBTV on the French side. Come, and if you want to play, if you want the glory, there will be a special, unique, never seen before, a 100 Triton Cup Golden Special badge for your Senzu profile. You want to be here, you want to play in it, you want to watch it. It's going to be awesome.
Wait, that sounds sick. I might have to put a team together for that one.
Yes.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching us, and we'll see you all Friday.